all the people.
My parents mean everything to me.
No, they don't.
So when I hear...
No, they don't. Your parents don't mean anything to you. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I would like to show you something that I found. Something that I found by myself while I save replays. And I'm definitely not buying time while I save replays. So I found this bug. I found it. That. Okay, alright, gotta save all the things and save all the stuff and then save things and then get on with the stream so that people can be here. And I'm just gonna put the camera on Oxy, and what's that thing that makes me just follow them? Alright. There. You guys can have Oxy. Nope. How do I get back to my other screen without pausing this? There we go. You guys can have that while I do my work. Why are we watching this? Wait and see. Just have a little patience, my friend. Something will happen, don't worry. Saving, 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 saving. Is that it? Have I saved them all? I think I have. Okay, I'm back. Alright. He hasn't done the thing yet? Serious? It's a minute and a half in. I thought he did it by now. It must be coming up, because this whole replay is only like 2.5 minutes long. Dun, 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 dun. There it is! There it is! The machine gun Oxyauto Blast! At 1:30 seconds. There it is. Oh, he does... Wait, hold on. Yeah, he does the second one and kills him. Alright, so that thing has 6,000 HP left, right? An Oxyauto has 25 ammunition. 23 ammunition. Shoots at that guy some more. 5,000 HP. And he uses 15 ammunition at once. And does 4,000 damage to the Exalted Great Unclean One. He just fucks him up. Oh god. Alright, alright. This is definitely not found by yourself. Yeah, it was found by Olaf. Olaf the Moose. Inkar shared it with me, which is why he's getting mad at me in chat, but Olaf found it. Kaiju? It's okay. I'll get over it. We do have a tournament. I'm letting people gather briefly. But also now I'm giving credit where credit is due. So Olaf was facing Inkars, and then this happened. I will be making a video about it, but it's really hard to reproduce. You can reproduce it, it just takes a while. But it has something to do with canceling the golden blowpipe, and then his next shot will sometimes use a lot of ammo. But the thing is it's inconsistent about how much ammo he's going to use on his next shot, is what I noticed. Because sometimes for me he would use 5, sometimes he would use 6, and sometimes he used 10. So how much does Olaf use here? 35. And I know it's about to happen, so that's why I paused here. Deletes the pistol caster, and he used about 11. So yeah, it's very inconsistent how much ammo it's going to use, inconsistent how much he's going to shoot. But it does a lot of damage. It does a shitload of damage. It's not easy to replicate, and it can just happen by accident. Yeah, so it's funny. But we have a new player tournament to do today, ladies and gentlemen. And some people are very mad, but we did not have global bans this time. Normally, when you watch our new player streams, each player bans 2 factions they just don't want to play against, so you don't see a lot of the OP stuff. But since a patch just happened, I usually don't do bans on my first tournament after a patch, so people can play some of the new stuff they're excited about. Like if you were really excited because, let's say, for this patch, Empire is your favorite faction in the whole world, and you wanted to try out the new demigryphs and whatever, but people keep banning them away from you, you can't play what you want to play, and then people get frustrated. So I tend to find it's best if we just let people play what they want to play right after a patch or DLC. Yeah. I did ban, however, the Thunderbarge, the Landship, and the Steam Tank, because all of them are just really unfun and not worth it. All right. So let's get on with it. If you haven't seen our new player tournaments before, there are 4 Swiss rounds. We will try and at least stream 1 game from every person. I haven't updated the brackets. There's no spoilers yet. So you can see 4 Swiss rounds. Like if we track Harris, Harris is here, and then Harris is there, Harris is there, and Harris is there. So Harris would fight Cowboy Cam, then King of the Hoots, then Chosen of Felestre, and then Martin. Boom. If there's a tie at the end, like if we have multiple people go 4-0 or 3-1, we'll do some tiebreakers, but no guarantees. Because there's no guarantees, there's ties. I don't need a blocker because all these games happened in the past. But without any global bans, you might see some of the factions we don't often get to see. Maybe some Kislev, maybe some Empire, maybe some Dwarves. I'm not looking forward to the Dwarves because it's been a long time since Dwarves made fun content. But we'll see. First game of the night is Martinius versus Sefault. Warriors of Chaos versus the Wood Elves. Let's get into it. Martinius taking the brand new Zarthoriel. I won't even say buffed because that doesn't do him credit. Like, he straight up got reworked. This is a new character. Ooh, versus actually kind of buffed Ariel. Ariel got Dart of Doom buffs and then some, like, aesthetic buffs. She has little butterflies and flowers wherever she goes now. That's fun. You didn't even take the Dart of Doom. What's the point? Why would you do this? Alright, whatever. I'm upset. Not that you shouldn't take Ariel without the Dart of Doom, it's just the Dart of Doom got changed, so now I want to see it. For the Chaos side, we have Chaos Warriors and Marauders. We have a Chaos Knight of Tzeentch, Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, Hell Cannon, an Exalted Hero of Tzeentch on his chariot with the Book of Secrets, hoping for some Fate Abunas. And then we have Zarthoriel the Everwatcher with the combo. He doesn't have Standard Die, but he does have Searing Doom and Gehenna's Golden Hounds, 2 pretty cheap spells that you can use to get Prismatic Plurality to reduce the cooldown on your Rock of Inevitability, giving you some pretty impactful melee buffs. Well, melee debuffs your opponent, and then Metal Shifting gives you 12% more damage after he just got damage buffs, so I like it a lot. Gehenna's Golden Hounds also got reworked a little bit to just go in a circle, so it should do more damage to a single target that's like sitting in a spot, but it doesn't spread as much. We'll see. For the Wood Elves, enough talking about Chaos. Fuck Chaos. 2 Great Stag Knights with a Glade Lord, Helm of Discord, and Dragon flying overhead. Eternal Guard frontline with Deepwood Scouts backing them up, and Ariel in the middle as a caster with Berry Wine for some good healing, and then Tempest and Apotheosis. What up, Scotch? How's it going? Frontlines are about to collide on the dark version of this map. Unfortunate it is the dark version. Here we are as the Deepwood Scouts get in range of the Hell Cannon. That's going to be so bad for the Warriors of Chaos. That expensive Hell Cannon is going down. These arrows are probably going to kill the Hell Cannon model itself, leaving just an unbreakable, useless Chaos Dwarf crew behind. There's the new and improved Gehenna's Golden Hounds. That should theoretically stay roughly in the same place due to RNG, but they are getting a little bit outside the Deepwood Scouts, so a little unlucky there for Warriors of Chaos, but overall a good cast, did a lot of damage to Deepwood Scouts. And the Hell Cannon crew falls back. Like I said, yep, the Hell Cannon itself is dead, but we have a big engagement. Chaos Knights of Tzeentch and Sartorial and the Dragon Ogre all diving down onto Great Stag Knights who did charge in, but the Helm of Discord is currently debuffing everybody, and Sartorial has not popped his rock to counteract them. What is it called again? The Rock of Inevitability. So maybe that happened while I wasn't paying attention. And now the Glade Lord is stuck on the ground. Dragon Ogre Shaggoth running up to give him a couple crumpins on the way out. Unfortunately, Dragon Ogre Shaggoth misses because, I don't know, reasons, I guess. And Great Stag Knights are back in. Chaos Knight's getting pretty low. Marauders also thinking about terror routing away from the dragon, and they will do so as Arthuriel goes elsewhere. Looks like he's going to support the Exalted Hero, who has been doing a little bit of disruption in the back line, stopping these Deepwood Scouts from getting whatever they want done, while again his Golden Hounds also pokes him a bit. Tempest going to slow him, damages Arthuriel a little bit on his way to the ground. He should be fine. He has those barriers of Tzeentch to mitigate most of the damage, and then he'll be all right. I'm surprised Chaos just abandoned this backfield fight. It felt like that was an important battle to win or lose, but it looks like it didn't matter. The Chaos Knights of Tzeentch managed to rally. The Dragon Ogre Shaggoth is still healthy. As Arthuriel continues to chase the Deepwood Scouts, shepherding them into his Searing Doom to just seal their fate. All the Wood Elf Archers are destroyed. Ariel, leaving a trail of flowers and butterflies, chases down the Exalted Hero of Tzeentch, gets a little poke on him as he leaves. Balance power is about 50-50. The Wood Elves lost all of their ranged units. Meanwhile, Chaos lost their Hell Cannon and a very expensive Knight, so definitely some decent trades on both sides. Audie the Fox, you're getting clapped. It's a new player tournament. That'll happen. Just try and have some fun. What I say to people all the time is, it's really easy in this game to go from being terrible to being fine. It's much more difficult to go from being fine to being good. So, like, in 3 new player tournaments, you'll notice so much improvement, but tournaments like 10 through 20, you won't notice much more improvement. I don't know if that's positive or negative, depends on your outlook on life, but yeah, you'll get better fast. You're struggling to figure out Kislev? If you tell me your Steam name, I will try to remember to give you feedback on your Kislev when I get to the games. I'll try to remember. So Arthuriel throws down the Rock of Inevitability near the Glade Lord, debuffing the Great Stag Knights as they run away. Dragon Ogre Shag is still trying to chase them down. We do have some Marauders. Oh yeah, and these aren't all Marauders. There's Chaos Warriors in here too. It looks like Ariel actually took out both those guys. Another Gehenna's Golden Hound is out, buffing up the Chaos Army with that nice metal shifting buff. And of course, just kind of jumping through some of the spears. Look at them. They have somehow managed to stay in this pocket where there's no one to damage. Wow. Gehenna's Golden Pacifist, more like. So the Dragon Lord's still very healthy. Ariel's still very healthy. She does have a Berry Wine still. Great Stag Knights are doing okay, but the Wood Elf Infantry is nearly a depleted force. Their archers are also beyond the pale. Beyond the pale? Beyond saving? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Dragon Ogre Shaggoth's still going to fight back in the darkness because we aren't allowed to see things here. Ooh, there I get some moonlight. Now I can kind of see what's going on. Good cleaving there from the Shaggoth. What's your damage value yet, buddy? 1100 and you're still full HP. Let's go, Shaggoth. We'd love to see it. So Arthuriel's going to terror out away some Eternal Guard, leaving Ariel all alone. What's the follow-up on that? Is this Shaggoth going to try and kill her, or what are we doing? I have a bunch of messages. Why? 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 Sorry. I might be needed. Someone pinged me. Is it about the tournament? Yeah, okay. Alright, it wasn't important. Zarthoriel is coming over to say hi to Ariel. I am a little confused why Warriors of Chaos are just ignoring Ariel entirely. I feel like it should be a pretty free target to hit, especially as the Great Stag Knights are cycle charging you constantly. You could just take the free damage on Ariel to try and force the Great Stag Knights to do something about it, but it looks like they're just going to do that to the Glade Lord instead. Rock of Inevitability countered by Helm of Discord, so everybody's losing stats. Nobody gets stats. No stats for you. No stats for you. And so Arthuriel's doing good work on this Glade Lord, but there goes the Berry Wine. He's going to get back to fresh vigor, tons of healing. Was a one-time use. After that, it'll have to be Apotheosis, but that's going to be a huge Searing Doom. Ow! That was a huge Searing Doom, and Chaos Knights charge in as well to get a little bit of attacked in the rear leadership debuff. There goes the double terror out for the Great Stag Knights. Can Chaos actually chase them off and make this into something, or will they just rally again and get Apotheosis up by Aerial a couple more times? Ooh, that is a nasty breath attack onto Zarthoriel's wings, and there is the Apotheosis to heal these guys up that we thought might be happening. Exalted Hero of Tzeentch is chilling with the troops. He hasn't had to do anything for a while. He's just chilling. Last couple Chaos Knights charging the Great Stag Knights, but with a dragon landing on them, these guys are not long for this world, and they die outright. Chaos is down the bounce power bit. Zarthoriel's just trying to clean up the last remaining Eternal Guard. We still have a lot of Great Stag Knights. 11 models over here, 11 models over there, so 22 Great Stag Knight models left. And a lot of infantry does not an army make. It's up to the Exalted Hero, Wounded Shaggoth, and Zarthoriel to carry now. I heard of Fate of Buna. The Book of Secrets delivers once again, killing off some Great Stag Knights. That Fate of Buna should be able to finish them off entirely, just kill every single model they have. Other Great Stag Knights also just going to rout. Somehow manage to cling to their leadership. And the Fate of Buna didn't kill them, it just shattered them. I guess I'm an idiot. Healing cap has appeared for the Glade Lord, and he's now stuck in a 1v3. That is terrible for him. While Deepwood Scouts offer a little bit of supporting fire, we still also have Great Stag Knights. But it's mostly Ariel, man. What can she do about this situation? We have one Acorn of Ages left. We have Tempest to poke down Zarthoriel. All hope is not lost. Actually, if you have an Acorn of Ages right here, that would be huge. Captain Flackjack. Captain Flackjack, I'm the one who complained. It's possible. When was I making fun of you? What did I do? What did I do? If you're talking about that thing I paused the game for and looked at my chat, it was not you. It was someone posting about Empire. And it was not related to this tournament at all. If that's what you mean. Alright, Ariel's still fighting it out. There goes the Acorn of Ages that we needed. Should be actually pretty big damage onto these guys. Yeah, that is huge. Taking out a lot of infantry support, but the Glade Lord's getting his ass kicked. Apotheosis getting him nearer and nearer to his heal cap as Ariel tries to fight back. The Glade Lord's got to figure out a way to knock somebody out, because this 3v1 is going so terribly for him. He's got to, like, actually get the Shaggoth out of here and get Zarthoriel out of here or something. I think the Exalted Hero is the worst choice, and I don't think he's going for him, because he has full barriers and a lot of HP, so he's got to somehow finish off the single entities. It looks like the Shaggoth is the target. Shaggoth's going to rout. Its leadership was negative for so long, but it manages to rally somehow. Huge damage onto the Glade Lord as the Rock of Inevitability lowers his melee defense down to 16. He gets his ass handed to him by the Hero Hammer of Chaos, and there goes the Dragon Lord as the Shaggoth drags him to the ground. How much value have you got, my friend? 2,700, 2,800 as he hits Ariel in the face. And there's no hope now, right? Ariel gets the Dragon Ogre to rout. Doesn't even hit it, by the way. The Deepwood Scouts actually routed it. There she hit it on the back. One more Tempest, and Zarthoriel's actually in danger of demonic instability crumbling. If Ariel has infinite winds of magic to keep apotheosising herself and tempesting Zarthoriel, she can win for sure, but I just don't know how much winds of magic she actually has left. How's Zarthoriel been doing? 3,700! Zarthoriel's back, baby. There's another apotheosis. Ariel healing up. She's fighting Chaos Warriors and Marauders, so that's a little spooky. Shaggoth routs for the second time, so he might shatter himself if this goes on. This is actually getting a little spooky for the Warriors of Chaos. Not full spook, but a little spooky. Yeah, the Shaggoth just shattered, by the way. That's his third route. There we go. Shaggoth is gone. Zarthoriel is a little scared. He doesn't want to get in on this too much. And the Exalted Hero is going to start charging instead. Trying to use his barriers to keep him safe. And then as soon as he runs out of barriers, he'll probably back off and reset his charge as Marauders tear out away. Deepwood Scout's offering a bit of supporting fire. And that arrow fire does lower leadership a little bit. Sartorial's in the fight. Rock of Inevitability, bringing her melee defense down to 24. Huge hit from Sartorial. Should trigger army losses. And that is a win for the Warriors of Chaos. I'm going to butcher your name, and I'm so sorry. I'm trying my best. Jairami. I hope I got that. Thank you for being such an entertaining, consistent streamer / catcher. Your endless hours of comedy and excitement. Okay, so who let the troll in here? Who let this man spread lies and disinformation in my chat? For Martinius, 3,800 value for his Arthurial, 2,400 as Exalted Hero. They did a large amount of carrying, but also the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth got 2,900. For Sefault, 2,000 on his Lord, 1,700 on Ariel. Nothing too crazy. Ooh, a Deepwood Scout got 1,300. I was going to say nothing too crazy on any of the infantry, and then the Great Stag Knights both got about 1,000. Just call him Jabroni. That seems rude. And I am not a rude person. Sorry, Turin messaged me. I must answer the Crown Lord Turin. Turin responded to some feedback I gave to CA, so I just had to meme on him a bit. I apologize. It was unprofessional of me to ignore you. But it's Turin. But it's Turin. What if Turin was talking and you were in the room? Would you just ignore the man? No. No. This is unheard of, that you people would criticize me for speaking to the Turin. Alright, pause that as I'm still saving replays. There's too many replays. There's too many replays. It's just Jeremy? Oh, nice. Let's do this. Dark Elves versus Tzeentch. We have the Raven's Herald, ROR Dark Riders in the Sky, Supreme Sorceress, a Beast on a Dragon. Ooh, a Dragon Flock of Doomcaster. No Soul Stealer to heal her up. Okay. Dread Spears, Dark Shards, a Death Hag, more Dread Spears. That is a lot of Dread Spears. I guess he has Bleak Swords mixed in. Then a Bloodrack Medusa for a little bit of kiting. The other side, we have an Exalted Hero of Tzeentch on disc this time with Colossal Strike and Golden Eye of Tzeentch. He does not have the Fate of Unibook. Marauder and Zongor frontline, backed up by the Severed Claw, and we have the Changeling who can turn into what? Let's find out. It's Skarbrand! Skarbrand's in. We also have some Centaurs of Tzeentch on the far side, but it's Skarbrand. Alright, Skarbrand, show us what you got, because you're going to have to do a lot of carrying this game. Changebringer ain't cheap. Changeling? Changebringer? Changeling. Changeling goes into the back line as Skarbrand rampages some Dark Shards immediately, so they can't retreat from him, and he pops his own buffs. He does not get Skarbrand's murder one. The one where if he kills a bunch of stuff, he gets more damage. That's a shame. Supreme Sorceress Beast being tagged by the Exalted Hero of Tzeentch. I like that. just so she can't live freely. But Dark Shards, yeah, the Changeling being Scarbrand doesn't change the fact that Scarbrand has the problem of being shot in the face because he is mega gigantic and very easy to hit. So Change Scarbrand is already down to 1/4 HP, as the Beastcaster also lands on him. Raven's Herald's being chased off by the Exalted Hero, but the Dark Elves seem to be doing fine everywhere. They're winning the frontline fight overall. They're Lord Sniping the enemy's a very expensive Changeling. They're just kind of not really losing. They're not losing anywhere. They're fine. Let's check out Scarbrand before he's dead, because trust me, he is dead. This man is on death row, and the executioner is on his way. The guillotine is prepped, oiled, brought to a nice shine. The crowd is gathered. The king is making his decree. We're just waiting for the axe to fall. As Dark Shards reform on the hillside, I don't necessarily hate that, but I am an impatient man and do want to see this Scarbrand finished off. Wrathful Reaper is popped. Flock of Doom overcast onto him and the Zongors just to send a message. His leadership falters for a second, but he is rallying for just a hot moment. As the Exalted Hero of Tzeentch has also come in with Colossal Strike, though he's got the golden eye of something. Okay. Well, he's got a golden eye, and he's trying his best to help out as the Changeling continues to fight. The Beastcaster is stuck in melee, and in comes a Rampage. Now, this is Tzeentch, not Khorne? So not having a caster, because your caster is the Changeling, who is now Scarbrand, not having a caster, they've charged 0 army passive. So that Rampage plus a tier 3 army ability of Tzeentch could actually be pretty huge, but he definitely doesn't have a tier 3 army ability, because he hasn't cast any fucking spells. I just realized he hasn't cast any spells. Ah, there we go. Dark Shards finally get a good volley onto Scarbrand Changeling, knock him out. Tzeentch's leadership will tank because their lord just died, so these Centaurs will probably get routing, and that might start a chain reaction that leads to army losses. Might, as more and more things keep routing, the balance power is going to get worse and worse. Jepadou? Who would know better about French king history? Me, a filthy American sitting in Minnesota casting video games? Or you, someone with a name that makes me go, ha ha ha? Change brand? I prefer Scarling. Actually, yes, that's good. Scarling. I'm going with that. Scarling got destroyed. Well, the Medusa needs to hit one more hit on this Exalted Hero to trigger army losses. And she hit one more hit on the hero and army losses didn't trigger. Okay. Feels cool. Feels great. I also need a beverage. That looks more painful than it is, Bloodrack Medusa. I remember the days where you used to be good at shooting everything. Now you're only good at shooting infantry. Scarling is the name of a province, minor Norska faction. Isn't that scaling? Nice job, Cowboy Cam. Finished round 3, good game tonight, Fireball. Game 1 was good. Game 2 was funny. This was pretty funny. I don't know if I'd call this like... See, saying good sounds so mean, because I had enjoyment watching it. I thought it was entertaining, but it wasn't like crazy close down to the wire. Game 1 was crazy close. Game 2 was just fun. Alright. I'll be right back. Or I won't. Who knows, man? Let's see. Do I have any repeats I can delete offhand? That looks very similar to a different one. No, it is not. Kislev versus Orcs 1 and Kislev versus Orcs. I'll save Kislev versus Orcs 1. Greenskins versus Kislev. That's just the same one. I saved the same replay 3 times. Man, a lot of dwarves going around. Surprise, busting out dwarves. Ooh, nerfed Kislev versus Empire. Oh, it's the Royal Arch of Griffite's Empire! I am excited to cast this. Okay, I know they're broken OP and disgusting, but I can still enjoy casting them for like a couple days. BRB. Let's do this. Last stream, you guys wouldn't let me have a line, so this time I didn't put it to a vote. I just got a truly. Let's get this Empire replay. Pancake message me. Versus Rogue Consultant. Rogue Consultant's in this tournament? That dude never shows up. I'm always excited, and then he never shows up. Oh, Turin responded. Yeah. Okay, I think that's an appropriate response for now. I can't let Turin dominate the conversation with CA, or they'll just buff Empire more. Goddamn Turin always buffing Empire. I blame Turin for all my problems. Alright. Empire, I haven't seen them for a while. They usually get banned, but after the patch, I don't like putting bans on the first tournament so we can at least see some of the new stuff. 2 Outriders, Empire Knights, front line of Empire Spears, backed up by Great Swords, Crossmen, a Great Cannon, Boris Todbringer, and an Amber Wizard, Flock of Doom, and Amber Spear. But there's also the Royal Altdorf Griffites. Demigryph Knights with Halberds got a lot of buffs, but the Royal Altdorf Griffites got a special buff, getting Glorious Charge, which gives them a shitload of damage. And a shitload is a technical term. On the other side for Kislev, 2 heavily nerfed heavy war sleds. A bunch of Streltsy, Kislevite warriors. Then we have double Warbear riders, including the Oath Brothers of Tor. And then we have an Ice Witch of Tempest the Hailstorm and Hawks of Mishka. Boris runs down the heavy war sleds super quickly. And I think once these Demigryphs change targets onto the heavy war sled that is next to them, they will shred that as well. But currently, I think they had like old attack orders onto that one. Now they're trying to chase these guys down, so we'll see how quickly they can kill those heavy war sleds. Running alongside them for now. We're trying to catch the leaders in the group. They're now focusing on the more regular heavy war sleds. Elsewhere, Outriders are kiting away, the Oath Brothers of Tor and the Kislevite warriors, armored Kossars and such. I really, you know what's sad is we don't get to see the Royal Altdorf Griffites fighting these guys. That would be something to see. But they're just busy chasing down heavy war sleds and massacring them. They got some good damage out, but regardless, Crossmen and Cannons trying to turn and help the fight against the Oath Brothers of Tor. As some Empire Knights did a bit of blocking to save the Outriders. They are regretting that and quickly retreating. Demigryph Knights do need to come back to the main line. Chasing off the heavy war sled's good, but like eventually they'll be needed because the Oath Brothers of Tor are about to eat up some Empire Knights. I don't know what's doing so much damage to them, however. I guess it's just the Outriders. And the Great Cannon. Okay, yeah, and the Great Cannon. How much value does that thing have? Ooh, 1,200. Yeah, it's the Great Cannon. How much value do the Outriders have? 700. Okay, so they're both doing decent work, but it is the Great Cannon that's done this much damage to the Oath Brothers of Tor. Kislev's infantry moving up. Now the armored Kossars are trying to use their pistols, as are the Streltsy, But Armored Cossars trying to use their pistols rather than getting in melee combat. They should probably just be prioritizing getting into melee as fast as possible, because the thing is, we had someone in chat saying they were having issues with Kislev, is why I pause it. I'm not pausing it just to be a dick. But the thing with Kislev is they're not the best at anything, but they're infantry. Just bear with me. They're not the best at anything. They're all hybrid. So you need to assess your opponent and figure out which of yours are you better than them at, right? If you're fighting Chosen, they are going to beat you in melee, but they don't have a ranged counter option, right? So you shoot them. Shoot them as long as you can, because you don't want to engage in melee because you're going to lose it. Empire Spearmen, you beat them in melee, so you don't want to stand around shooting them with a pistol. They're shielded and all that stuff. It's going to take you a long time when you should run up and kick their ass. So as I'm looking at this Kislev front line, all of the Armored Cossars needed to run into melee as fast as possible and engage the Empire's shitty Spearmen instead of standing around and shooting them. Because they're getting counter-fired at the whole time by Outriders and cannons and all this stuff and whatever. So that's just a general thing where it's like, Armored Cossars should go fight Spearmen. They should kite Chosen. They shouldn't kite Spearmen. Other than that, the game's been going okay. Your Warbears are doing good work, but I think you need to force the option more. They're chasing off these Outriders, or they were fighting the Empire Knights. Fuck the Outriders, ignore them, charge in here and shut down the Great Cannons or the Crossbowmen. And if the Outriders want to do something about it, they could try and chase you, and then you can get them. But just chasing them around, like the Cannon and the Crossbowmen are doing so much damage to your Warbear Riders while you're trying to stop those Oath Brothers of Tor. Again, just commenting on the Kislev play, because there's a person in chat asking about playing Kislev, so yeah. This is a really good Hawks of Mishka, by the way. Saying all the negative things, I'll also say positive things. And you have a great engagement here. Kislevite Warriors fighting Great Swords is awesome, because they'll trade up. They're pretty cheap, and Great Swords are wasting their armor piercing on peasants, but the peasants have armor piercing back at them. But again, the Armored Cossars shouldn't be shooting their pistols, they should be engaging. Maybe not the Great Swords, but there's other things these Armored Cossars could be doing. The Bardislav Brawlers need to be punishing Boris for this snipe attempt on the Ice Witch. And also, I think if these bears weren't busy in the backline just causing a bunch of disruption, they could be here bodyguarding for your Ice Witch of Tempest. So, I have a bit of a disagreement about how the Warbear Riders were used this game, and a bit of the Armored Cossar usage, but I like the build. The build is really good, and overall your play has been pretty solid. Like, I don't see a lot of units standing around doing nothing. All your units are doing stuff, it's just maybe not engagements I would agree with, but it's better to have good micro control of your units than to know the correct matchups, but control your units poorly. You know what I mean? Where it's like, you can know all the correct matchups in the world, but if you have shit sitting AFK on the side because you forgot them, then it doesn't matter that you know the correct matchups. So anyway, your mic, if this is you, guy who was in the chat, your micro is good, your decision making could use a little bit of work, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. The Empire's been playing great. I haven't talked about them too much because I've been really focusing on trying to give commentary about Kislev. But Boris is picking good engagements. Demigryph Knights have been doing solid work. I have a little bit of criticism that I think they overchase the heavy war sleds, but they're here now that they need them. The Empire's target priority has been really good. The Great Cannon was shooting at all the right targets. The Outriders were shooting at all the right targets. The Outriders never got caught. So the Empire played pretty clean. I liked it a lot. Sefault with the almost 6 euros for Manfred, the best and most honorable dude in Warhammer. I don't think that's actually true. Why is it the Pirates of Sartosa? Is that a bug? I actually don't know if that's a normal flag or not. What vegetable should I put in chicken noodle soup? Sliced carrots and sliced celery. You should have garlic. Your garlic should have cooked with the chicken ahead of time, so don't just put that in the soup afterwards. You wanted that to kind of sear with the chicken a little bit and sink into the meat, because otherwise your meat's going to be really fucking tasteless when you eat it. And chicken is the chewiest thing in your chicken noodle soup, so it's going to be the last thing in your mouth, so you want the chicken to taste good, because otherwise your last couple chews of each bite is going to be rather limp. So, garlic should have gone on with the chicken. If you're already at the broth stage, too late to add that shit. You can add either red pepper flakes, the seasoning, for a bit of zip, or you can add red pepper, the whole thing, if you want some crunch. Again, you would need to cook that ahead of time, though, Because you also don't just plop carrots and celery into the soup broth. You usually pan fry them in butter until they get soft. There's your answer. Audie the Fox, $5. Really appreciate these tips, man. This is me playing Kislev. Woo! My only experience playing against AI, so these battles are really checked. Yeah, dude. I meant what I said earlier, where taking a player... I'm not saying you are at a 0. I'm making up a theoretical. But a player can enter a server at a 0. You'll go from 0 to like a 7 out of 10 pretty quickly. It's getting from a 7 up to like an 8 or a 9 that takes forever. But if you're like, I'm really struggling to get wins right now, don't worry about it. That'll pass real quick. The frustrating part comes later. All right, there we go. I had to make sure I was deleting the right thing. Nurgle versus Wood Elves. Sure. We got Rogue Consultant and Chosen of Illustre. Rogue Consultant is a tease. He's always posting in my Discord like, hey man, I'm gonna show up to this new player tournament, it's gonna be dope. And then he doesn't. Just the fact that he's here now, today, means we should appreciate him. As I keep saving replays. There we go. Let's get back in it. YouTube Online lets me send odd numbers. It's infuriating. That sounds infuriating. What if I want to make really bad chicken noodle soup? Then add all of your stuff after your broth is already cooked, because then it's just going to taste like an assortment of vegetables and water. Okay. Nurgle versus Wood Elves. We have an Exalted Hero of Nurgle, a Cultist of Nurgle, and a Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Nurgle, with Fleshy Abundance and Rancid Visitations. We have Marauder Horsemen Throwing Axes, Rotting Riders, Chaos Warriors of Nurgle. That is about it. On the other side, we have Durthu, Big Daddy Durthu, getting Rancid Visitations already. Blade Guard, War Dancers, Great Stag Knights, who are currently slaughtering the Rotting Riders, though I suppose the Rotting Riders are giving as good as they get against the Wild Hunters of Khorne. Deepwood Scouts, Sorcerer Shards, Dryads, War Dancers. All the good stuff. Slow motion, because this game is happening fast, and I have something I want to note. Just a general word for the wise. Lore passives are something you should only take if you're taking cheap spells. If you take too expensive spells, like this guy did, they're both good spells. I don't necessarily disagree with taking those, but you won't get enough casts of expensive spells to make the lore passive worth it. Right? You're going to get like 3 casts of these throughout the whole game, maybe 4 if the game goes long. That's not worth it to bring the Children of Nurgle. For any lore of magic, only bring the lore if you're taking cheap-ish spells. Now, you might argue in the flame, the fire magic, you should always take Kindle Flame. Yes, but also fire magic, the spells you're taking are either Fireball, Flaming Sword of Ruin, or Burning Head, which are all cheap spells. If you're taking Piercing Bolts of Burning and that's your only spell, then you fucked up in so many ways I can't even describe it, but Kindle Flame is not going to save you. Anyway, moving on. Durthu has Flock of Doom and his Sword of Date. Those are usually the 2 things he takes, because you can just clear out like infinite amounts of infantry with those 2 spells. It can make it really hard for you to progress forward. Now, Durthu did get buffed. He got a cost increase, which is a nerf, but a lot of his stats went up, and he is currently showing the Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Nurgle those stats firsthand. He's like, hey, you want to see my stats, bro? And he just starts slapping the shit out of him. As I say that, he misses 2 in a row. The Rotting Riders are chasing down the Wild Hunters of Khorne, but the Great Stag Knights are behind them somewhere. Somewhere? Where do the Great Stag Knights end up? Are they up on the high ground? Oh yeah, there they are up on the high ground, but the Wild Hunters of Khorne can finish this fight on their own. Chaos Sorcerer Lord needs to get away from Durthu very quickly. He has slow passive healing from his Crown of Domination, which he didn't take. Never mind, he doesn't have any healing at all. He needs to heal himself so badly as Durthu's chasing him down. Terror Route in. Terror Route. Run! Run! Get some distance, man! He has 35 speed, you have 75! Get out of there! Alright, he's getting to safety, he's fine, he's good. As the Exalted Hero takes up the next fight with Durthu. Flag Bearer Summon from the Cultist is busy fighting some War Dancers and Archers. That is good. Other Archers are routing, so things are going okay for Nurgle on the sides. The front line is a disaster. The cab fight is a disaster. Yes, the front line is a disaster, the cat fight is a disaster, but some of the flanks they're taking out the archers, so that is good. Meanwhile, the Exalted Hero will solo Durthu down. He has an axe, which is the appropriate weapon to use versus a giant tree man. We can appreciate that. Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Nurgle busy fighting some reindeer. I'm waiting for Durthu to turn around like it's a horror movie and start stomping towards this guy as he's not looking at him. There's the Flock of Doom, so we know the player is looking here. Da-da, 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 da-da. He's gonna walk after you. Keep running. Don't attack Dryads, cause Durthu's a coming. Does anything else matter? Nope. Gonna watch this. Da 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 da. Oh, another 500 HP off. Run! Run, boy! Another 500 HP off. Run! Get out of there! No, God! Durthu keeps whipping him as he starts to run, but he gets stuck in his own boys. He's like, let me through! Let me through! Durthu's coming! He gets to safety. Oh, let's go. Balance of power is 50-50 as the cultists of Nurgle and some other guys keep chasing down Gladeguard, which is a really good source of damage value for them. Great Stag Knights are determined not to let this Chaos Lord get away, but if Fecundity is going to heal him up quite a bit, he does have some covering fire from these skirmish cab who might have to sacrifice their lives to let him get back in this game, and that would very much be worth it, so I hope they do so. They're taking so much damage as throwing axes hit the Great Stag Knights in the back. These guys are going to rout, but they bought enough time, the Rot Beast, trying to carry its master to safety, or at least enough safety that he realizes he can turn around and fight those Great Stag Knights. Exalted Hero still healthy, Cultist is still healthy. Nurgle has a lot of infantry left. For the Wood Elves, Durthu is a huge problem. But aside from that, they are looking like a tattered force. Uh-oh. Great Stag Knights fighting the Chaos Sorcerer Lord alone. He dives into them, fearless as always. He might... This guy might have wanted a little more fear. But he gives himself a fleshy abundance. Can it come in time to stop him from routing? Because that is a big problem. If he routes, he's just going to get chased off the map. Throwing axes are back. They should get a couple good volleys into those reindeer while their Lord heals up. They should get a couple good volleys into the reindeer. Throw your fucking axes! Thank you! Idiots. They had attack orders for a long time. That wasn't the player's fault. Something's going on in the distance. I don't care about it. I just care about this. This is all I want. Sword of Date's trying to peel off these guys, but it doesn't work as they think about throwing their axes a second time. Get a couple shots on the Great Stag Knights. Da, 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 da. Skirmish Cavs still trying to kill the Great Stag Knights while Durthu is coming uphill. Balance power is evening out as more and more Wood Elves in the distance rout off. Great Stag Knights continue to take damage, though the Marauder Horsemen throwing axes look like they might rout because Durthu's getting closer, as he always is. He's just the world's slowest homing missile onto this Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle. Slowly, ominously, following him wherever he goes, accidentally friendly firing the shit out of his Great Stag Knights. Da-da, da-da. Foe Seeker, ooh, that makes him kind of fast. So Great Stag Knights are not letting this Sorcerer Lord get anywhere. Rotting Riders are somehow still alive. They have regeneration, but with only 4 models, they're actually capped out on how much health they can have per model. So until they take some kind of damage, they actually can't heal, which is funny. Another Fleshy Abundance for the Chaos Sorcerer Lord. That is a lot of Winds of Magic getting poured out, so I think he maybe has 1 spell left, like, overall. Because he took 2 really expensive spells, so. He used a Rancid onto Durthu at the start, and then 2 Fleshies on himself. I doubt he has another one. By Odin's Bart, I encourage you to take part in a tournament, dude. We're always here. And if you don't want to, that's also fine. We'll always be here. Wake up, Papa Durthu's home. Yeah. Alright, what do we got? So on the other side of the map that I've been largely ignoring for most of the game, we have an Exalted Hero of Nurgle cleaving his way through every Wood Elf infantry he can find. A Cultist who's been healing up quite a lot. Already used his Plague Bearer summon, we know that. Still have a half-health Chaos Warrior of Nurgle. And that's about it. This game is getting spread out. Where'd the Lord go? Okay, he's behind me. I was like, did he run into Durthu and die when I looked away for like 2 seconds? I don't know what can kill Durthu in the late game. The Exalted Hero can if he, the Cultist, and the Chaos Lord all attack Durthu at the same time. Durthu has no support, and there's a Fleshy Abundance to heal up this guy. Because that is the only way the Wood Elves lose this. Fleshy Abundance, 3v1 Durthu, no support nearby. We know what horror movie they're in. It follows. In come the Chaos Warriors. They get ignored, and the Deepwood Scouts just shoot the Marauder Horsemen. Axes out, lads! Whee! Did you see that Wood Elf do that cool spin into aiming, but he didn't even finish firing the shot before he just died? That was helpful. War Dancer's getting cleaned up. They have done a lot of damage as Exalted Hero. What's your guys' value? Yeah, 1100. That unfortunately tracks here. Do we have a tier 2 army ability? Fecundity. That also could be good. We need some sort of healing. Durthu is a beast. Durthu is a beast. I don't necessarily hate that. I think he used a Rancid Visitations on Durthu off screen, which not actually a bad choice. Anyway, I love Durthu. I like that he's strong. I don't know if he needed buffs this patch, but I do like him. I don't think he needed buffs this patch. So Nurgle's just setting up the late game we talked about. You got to take out all of Durthu's support, and then your only way of winning this is getting all 3 of your single entities to attack him at the same time. Attack him at the same time. Don't run into him right now. The Lord isn't here. Ooh, Fleshy Abundance. That was one of our win conditions, so some things are going right for Nurgle. But Durthu hurts a lot as he kicks the shit out of the Exalted Hero and pushes all these guys away. The Chaos Lord is coming down the hill. The Cultist is also... He's been healing all game, so I have no idea where his actual heal cap is, but it's got to be close. Overcasted Flock of Doom take out some of the Chaos Warriors. Yeah, healing caps for all of the Nurgle characters as Durthu slaps the Cultist over and over again. The Chaos Lord is in, and Durthu turns towards him, and he's like, "You! I've been chasing you all game! I might die, but I'm taking you with me, Chaos Caster!" He still has 5,000 HP. 2,500 here, 2,500 there, 3,000 here, so all these guys have less HP than him, but together they are stronger. The Rotting Riders coming downhill with their 4 models. And again, they're heal capped, quote-unquote, until they take a little bit of damage. But Durthu's weapon strength is so high, he actually might just kill entire models, so they might not get healing anymore. But this is what we were thinking about for Nurgle. Nice 3v1, all of the characters getting to swing so often that Durthu actually gets knocked down. Nurgle played it correctly, and the Chosen of Elistre clutches out a win. He let Durthu hit his lord too many times in the early game, but he brought it back. Durthu got 3,500 value, and you dare say he's underwhelming? Audie with the $5. Just won my last game. I think you'll see some improvements. I tried to take everything you said into consideration. Good, man. Good. I mean, I didn't want you to win, but...
Why was he suddenly toxic? I don't understand. Guy asked for help, he gave us some help, and then he was fucking a dick about it. I don't like Human Boy, he's a piece of shit.
I'm saving replays while I do my dumb squeaky voice. A lot of people are finishing round 4. So let's check on the tournament, shall we? Excuse me. Do we have any 4-0s? No. The best we got is a 3. Okay. Martin. There's only one person left in round 3, and they also have a game in round 4. And I was just like, did you forget to mark round 3, or are you actually still playing round 3? Either is fine. I'm just curious. All right. Since we're getting to the end of the tournament, let's make sure we get everybody at least once. I heard this game wasn't very good. I know I have more surprise games. Let's see if we have more Heisenberg games. Alright, so we have more Heisenberg games. I'm going to skip this one because I heard it wasn't very good. And we have plenty of replays. King of the Hoots versus Flapjack. I don't know if I've cast Captain Flapjack or King of the Hoots yet, so I'll keep that one. Freya and Heisenbergs. There's a Heisenberg game. Cablicam. Okay. I have another surprise game, right? Yeah, okay, there we go. Dwarves versus Dark Elves. Let's cast it now. I haven't cast any of his dwarves yet, and I just skipped one, so we'll do it. Rogue Consultant and Surprise. Durf player. Goodbye, Captain Sleep. Captain Sleepless. Oh shit, hold on, sorry. Alright, so there's one game left. Got it. There's one game left in the tournament. I'll keep an eye on that, make sure not too many people are waiting on me. What do we have here? For Surprise and his dwarves, Miners of Blast Charges front line, we have Slayers, Bugman's Rangers, the Skolder Guard, Iron Drake ROR, Thoric Ironbrow, on foot with Rune of Wrath and Ruin, and Rune of Negation. Then we have double Dragon Slayer. They just got nerfed by CA, but for 600 gold, these guys are still insanely cost-effective little duelists. And a Flame Cannon, which recently got buffed, and let's see if they're any good. No. Got it. On the other side, for Dark Elves, we have Bleak Swords, Witch Elves, Dark Shards, a Bloodrack Medusa, Sorceress of Shadows with just Pendulum. I haven't seen Pendulum in a long time. Triple Shades, all with Great Swords, triple Harpies with Crows of Cain. Alright. Pretty cool builds on either side. I could see either of them working. The main problem is the Witch Elves, if they can get into melee, would do a ton of damage to these miners, but between blasting charges and the flame cannons, they're not going to get into melee. They're just going to rout immediately. These other ones might, however, as the blasting charges were used on Bleak Swords. Not a bad target, but again, if the Witch Elves aren't the ones taking it, they can hop in there. If they pop their Witch's Brew, they'll tear through the miners super, super fast. Bloodrack Medusa is also pretty good at dealing with Dowie infantry. You can kite them out in the late game. Harpies landing in onto the flame cannons and Bugman's Rangers, but a Rune of Negation gives 40% damage resistance to the flame cannons. They'll be just fine. In comes the Shades, firing in onto clumped up Slayers. Slayers do have a little bit of shielding, but they aren't facing those Shades, so they're probably not getting any of the benefits of it. Harpies are quickly knocked out, however, so we'll have to see how much damage the Shades can get out due to the distraction. But the Flame Cannon should be roughly offline for the rest of the game. As we said, the Witch Elves went straight through the Miners, and they're now heading back towards the Bugman's Rangers and Slayers. This is a win-win for the Witch Elves. Whatever fight they take back here is a winning fight. I just hope that they take it quickly. And they are still moving, so that is good. Yep, Witch Elves just need to get back here. Don't have Witch's Brew to pop, but that's fine. It was smart that they used it before to get through the miners quicker, but they'll trade fine against either of these guys, so good to see them in there. Flame Cannon getting pin cushioned by the Shades right now. Sorceress of Shadow is stuck in miners. Does need to get out of there, but also doesn't want the miners to be freed up to throw blasting charges at her Shades, so I think she is just trying to distract them, hold them in place for a little bit. As the Slayers hold back the Witch Elves and Bleak Swords, they're getting shot over the top by Dark Shards. I thought I saw the Bloodrack Medusa also weighing in, but double Dragon Slayer right next to Medusa. They could wreck her pretty quickly. She needs to keep moving on. I don't know if the Dark Elf player has noticed yet that she slipped into melee. She got close enough that she procced her like charge and ran straight into them. So Great Sword's now getting shot by the flame. The Flame Cannon's still alive? It's taken so many volleys. Slayers sacrifice their lives willingly to the blasting charges and flame cannon rounds that kill an entire Shade at the cost of that Slayer's lives. The Shades are once again firing onto the flame cannon. They are sick of its shit and trying to take it out. But those Dowie crews are apparently unbreakable as they just take shade shot after shade shot. They have no health left. And finally the crew falls away. Not enough men to man the cannons. Nice pendulum down the line, but all of a sudden things are looking dire for the Dark Elves. The Medusa has been reduced to just a bloody pile of pulp by the Dragon Slayers who took her down. She is no dragon, she's just a snake lady. So she got knocked the hell out. Slayers chasing down Shades should still have enough oomph in them to get a lot of damage out. Shades trying to fire crossbows into them by a little bit of time. Bounce power is slightly dwarf favored. The Dark Elves still must have something in the tank I'm not seeing because it doesn't look slightly dwarf favored. It looks very dwarf favored right now. But the Shades are trying to just finish off these Slayers. Down to 6 models, 300 HP. Bugman's Rangers firing over as the Shadows caster hangs out next to them. Bounce power evens out just a bit as the Skolder Guard are under attack by something. Dark Shard's trying to fire at them with guard mode on. And the Witch Elves get into melee, barely clinging to their leadership. As Murderous Mastery wears off, their leadership falls apart and they do end up routing. So we have 2 Shades. One has a lot of ammo but not a lot of health. The other one has a lot of health but not a ton of ammo. Bloodrack Medusa is back with just a million ammunition, but no HP and very low leadership. So it's got to somehow take out those crossbowmen, and then it can kite the rest of the dwarves like these Longbeards. But if it gets shot by any arrows, it's going to rout again. If you have time, I'd appreciate it if you could room my round 4. No worries though if you can't get to it, Adi. I will try to remember. I will try to remember. We can request reviews. Humboy roast me. I try to offer advice. I try. It is difficult though. Sometimes I just want to like cast a game and be entertaining, and then I forget that I'm casting new players and that I should say something. Is there any winner, Heisenberg? Let me see. Okay, the last game has been played. Let me see. Everybody shut up. Yes, Martinius did not lose a single game. No one else was undefeated, so Martinius will be our winner for the night. I will post that. GG to all. And Martinius, congrats on the W. No tiebreakers this time, my friend. 4-0. All right, Martinius won the tournament, so now I will get distracted much less often because I have no more replays to be saving. Let's just cast the games we got in front of us. Back at it. As the Bloodrack Medusa does get hit with a couple Skolder Guard rounds, that'll rout them off. The Shades are resetting position. They want to fire at these juicy Longbeards, and I can appreciate that, but the silver shields of those guys is going to make it hard. Rune of Wrath and Ruin should rout that Shade. And yeah, these other 2 Shades have the right idea. Trying to get up and fire at the Bugman's Rangers. Because the Longbeards are slower than you. They can't catch you. They have no ranged attack to punish you in any way. So you can actually infinitely kite these Longbeards. They aren't a problem. For you, the problem is the Bugman's Rangers firing back at you. And Thoric shutting you down and all that stuff. But yeah, Longbeards aren't an issue, so you should probably ignore them until you take out all the other threats. Dark Shards need to come back into the fold. Just need to keep putting pressure on these guys. I'm a little worried about the Dark Elves' ability to kill the single entities in the late game, but like, if you, I mean, Shade's firing close range into Thoric at close range. I said close range twice. Firing into Thoric will still get a lot of damage out, even though he's not on his Anvil of Doom. Like, Shades do a lot of work. But that's if they have time to sit and shoot, which they might not get. Shade stopping to fire at the Longbeards. Shields up, mitigating a lot of that damage as Thoric continues to charge in. I didn't play, but you can roast me, please. Still have to cast my game's hummus, by the way? Yes, Heisenberg. I know that. I skipped the one that you said sucked. But I got you, buddy. There's a couple people we haven't cast any of the games yet. We're getting to it. Thoric piles into some Shade Greatswords. They do have armor piercing in melee, but still Longbeards will trade up into them. Just being cheaper and having pretty high stats, especially with Thoric supporting them, that should be pretty easy. And if this Dragon Slayer gets his hand on the Dark Elf Sorceress of Shadows, this game is over. But he doesn't seem to notice her. Instead, going for the Shades. We're going to try and shoot him. Couple hundred damage onto him. Another Rune of Wrath and Ruin, taking out those Shades. And with those Shades, great swords getting killed off. Blasting charges onto the other Shades. And Bugman's Rangers routing off the Dark Shards. That is a death knell for the Dark Elves. Any chance of victory they had just fell apart in that one instance of play where 3 different armor-piercing missile units got completely fucked up. That's funny. Good game from Surprise. And honestly, as far as dwarf builds go, this one was pretty fine. There's a lot of them that are just a pain to cast because nothing really happens, but Skolder Guard were kind of fun. Flame Cannon did some work, which was pretty silly. Yeah. At least it's not Gyrocopter Kite for 50 minutes. Witch Elves did good damage. Shades did alright. Harpies actually did okay too. Bloodwreck Medusa is still struggling after her nerfs. Poor lady. Poor lady. So we watched that one. We have no more replays coming in. These are all the replays we have. So let's make sure we get everybody. I've cast Chosen once. I've cast Freya once. Eris and Martinius. Surprise, we just cast. I haven't cast any King of the Hoots. Sefault and World Consultant. I don't know if I've cast Sefault yet. I think I did earlier, but I'm not sure. Captain Flapjack, I don't know if we've cast any of him yet. I'm going to assume not. Johnny Cash, also probably haven't done any. So we still got some people to check out. Let's go back to the older stuff. Captain Flapjack, King of the Hoots. Let's get it. Surprised they didn't run any gyros. Some people don't like gyros. And the gyros did just get nerfs. Who knows? Who knows if they're even any good? Let's keep on keeping on. King of the Hoots versus Captain Flapjack. Ogres, one of my favorite factions right now. I don't think they're the best faction right now, but when I say favorite, I just mean literally one of my favorite factions. Not saying they are secretly strong. I do agree with most people saying meta-wise they're rather weak. I'm of two minds. I think ogres are better than people give them credit for, but people say they are dogshit, useless faction. I think they are okay at times, right? So I'm not trying to say they're good, but like, calm down. They're not worthless. Anyway, for my ogres, my beloved ogres, Mournfang Cat with great weapons on the flanks, Man-Eaters and Iron Guts in the center, 2 Lead Belchers, and a Great Maw Caster with Troll Guts, Brain Gobbler, and Bone Crusher. On the other side for Tzeentch, we have Chosen of Tzeentch with Halberds, the Severed Claw, Pink Horrors, Village the Curseling with Glean Magic, which recently got a buff, Blue Fire, and Treason of Tzeentch, and then a Zongor frontline, and a Soul Grinder to help snipe a little bit, while an Exalted Hero of Tzeentch with Colossal Strike lands on the Slaughtermaster, who got hit with Blue Fire, and I imagine a Soul Grinder shot, and now the Exalted Hero is trying to finish the job. Already the Slaughtermaster is routing. He needs some help from somewhere. These Iron Guts or Man-Eaters have to get into the fight and help out. As we are getting some side shots from the Lead Belchers, Mournfang Cav starting to flank in, but a little bit of a problem we see in new player tournaments. But if you are a rush faction, you need to make sure that your flanks hit at the same time as your front, so that the enemy doesn't have time to respond. But those Mournfang haven't gotten into the fight yet, and the fight is already halfway over. One way or the other, the Ogres are pounding the front line, Tzeentch is sniping out your Lord, and you're just now joining the fight. That's unfortunately not a good thing. Iron Gut's still trying to get involved, wandering over towards the Severed Claw, chasing Pink Horrors around as well. And the Slaughtermaster is back. He's about to get hit in the face with the Blue Fire. There he goes. But he should rally again, and then maybe be fine. So you have Mournfang Cav, who backed off, but they're still just sitting out. These guys literally haven't gotten to play yet. They gotta get in there. They gotta get something done. These other Mournfang Cav are doing it, though. Charging straight through the Pink Horrors. Really good impact damage. And also, I think the Lead Belchers have been doing some decent work. getting side shots down halberds and stuff, so I like that. My only complaint about the Ogre so far is this Mournfang Cav being out of position. It's in now. It's unfortunately stuck fighting... Did my stream crash? No, just... okay. One page crashed, but the stream itself is still running. Got it. Mournfang Cav trying to fight the Pink Horrors, trying to fight the Soul Grinder, but unfortunately a little close to this Chosen of Tzeentch, so they will lose that fight pretty badly. These super elite halberds will mess those guys up. They're going to retreat. That is smart. And over here we have an overload of Ogre's forces as they try and kill more Chosen and the Severed Claw. They're getting decent damage up, but they're taking a ton in return. Got the Pink Horrors. More blue fire casting for the Slaughtermaster, the Great Maw. And if he routes one more time, he is going to shatter, by the way. Slaughtermaster's getting stabbed in the butt. And he shatters. The Ogres are without magic. They're not without leadership just yet. Until he gets off the map or dies, they don't actually take that leadership penalty. Just a little bit of time as the Lead Belchers continue to punish the Chosen of Tzeentch. But the balance power is saying about how I feel. We still have a full health Soul Grinder. Village is full health. We have 2 Chosen of Tzeentch, one of which is full HP, and a full health Exalted Hero. The Ogres have some teeth in them. Certainly they have that, but I don't know if they have enough to beat all of these Chosen and such. Village and multiplayer, I don't think I've seen him since the beginning of Warhammer 3. I take him in some games, you silly meow meow. He is fine. The problem with Village, I love Village, but the problem with Village is that he is fine on a roster of great lords. There are fantastic lords on the Tzeentch roster, and then Village is fine. Ogres are about to army loss any second now, and it will be another win for Tzeentch, though I do appreciate seeing my big fat boys. If the Ogres want my feedback, I think their play isn't what cost them this game. They had one mistake with the Mournfang Cav, but that doesn't matter. Like, it sucks, but I don't think that would have won you the game. I think your build had issues, especially because for some... Well, not for some reason. People really undervalue the best unit on this roster, and it's Nobbler Trappers. Nobbler Trappers are the best unit on the Ogres roster. They got nerfed multiple times, and they're still the best. So if you don't want my feedback, you don't want my feedback. But when you're fighting Tzeentch, you know Tzeentch has really good halberds. I only care about this because I love Ogres. You know Tzeentch has really good halberds. So take Lord of the Great Maw, and then take Blood Gruel like you did. You did this. I'm just saying this for everybody else. You want Blood Gruel and nothing else, because you can't get in melee. There's 2 problems with getting in melee. 1, Tzeentch is the best faction in the game at Lord sniping you. Your Lord's never getting into melee. So don't bother taking the melee debuff, don't bother taking the heal, don't bother taking the extra ingredients. You're never getting into melee, you're never going to use them. So you have Blood Gruel. It regenerates you slightly. Take Brain Goblin and Toothcracker. Troll Guts takes a lot of Winds of Magic, and when you're getting sniped, you're going to be on fire, so you're not going to get a lot of healing. You just want these 2 cheap ones. Spam them out as much as you can and heal up as much as you can from your passive, but you know you're getting Lord sniped. If the map has trees, put your Lord in there and forget about him. Okay? You want 3 Nobblars for bodies, you want 5 Nobblar Trappers. In almost any Ogre build, you want 8 Nobblars, because your Ogres do a lot of damage, but the problem is if your Ogres get surrounded, they get, for every 1 Ogre model you have, because this guy has 16 models, right? If you charge it to infantry have 120 models. Every Ogre you have is fighting pretty much a 1v10, and he's going to lose. But if you have Nobblars at your feet, your Ogre gets to fight a 1v1, and then another 1v1, and then another 1v1, and that's where you get a bunch of value. So the Nobblars suck, but they're just there to be between your Ogre's feet, so that Chaos Warriors can't be between your Ogre's feet. You know what I mean? Like, he can't get surrounded by Chaos Warriors, he's surrounded by Nobblars, and he fights like 1 or 2 or maybe 3 Chaos Warriors instead of 9. So you almost always need 8 Nobblars. Nobbler Trappers are awesome because they can be archer units or they can be melee units, and then they have this, where if they ever start losing melee combat and like taking a bunch of damage, can use if not moving or whatever, they do a lot of damage to their opponents and then slow them down. So they're chaff units that also have like a even if I'm losing, I win type thing. So I think you need these in any build. To finish this out, I think you can do a lot of different things, but if you care what I do versus Tzeentch, I do take 2 Lead Belchers to punish boxes or blobs of some kind. And then you have 5 Archer, quote-unquote, units, and 2 Lead Belchers to deal with blobs. So after that, you have to deal with Rush. Iron Guts are always good. Separatist packs have crazy high weapon strength, so I do like to take 2 of them, but 3 Iron Guts is fine. And then I still like taking a Stonehorn to cycle charge through halberds. But if you don't want a Stonehorn, another thing you can do, depending on the map, is just another one of these. And then, what is it, 2 of these? Yeah, you can do 2 of those. You can. Since the Ogre Bull nerfs, I actually kind of like a 3rd Lead Belcher, and then cut this and maybe grab... What did I just cut? What did I just grab? I cut a Saber Tusk for an Ogre Bull. Yeah, that's fine. Grab the Noblar Arwar. And then another Saber Tusk. Not a lot of money, but something like that. So your main point is if they go Halberd box, you can kite them with your double or triple Lead Belcher, depending on how many you took. And if they take a more regular build, then you can still rush them with a good amount of Ogre Bulls. It's fine. This matchup isn't ideal, but it's very doable if you have a build like that. Let's find our next game. Looking for people we still haven't cast. There's Heisenberg. I don't think we've gotten a Heisenberg game in. So let's do it. Some Tomb Kings versus Kislev. Turn responded to me again. I have to give him something that says I'll talk to him later, but let him know I respect him. I sent him a Denzel Washington meme. Question, are you allowed to take more than 8 Nobblers in tournaments? 5 of the Vanilla, 5 of the Trappers? Not in tournaments, no. We consider them the same unit with variants, but it's not really a big deal. You could take 5 and 5 in quick battles. But I still wouldn't recommend doing that, because while I did say you should always take like 8 Noblars, I also think 10 is too many, because you just limit yourself too much. I think 8 is that nice number where you have a ton to protect your ogres, but not so many you're taking up unit caps that could be used by your ogres. Alright, Tomb Kings of Heisenberg. We have Skeleton Spearmen, including the King of Kesh Scorpion Legion, 2 Tomb Guard with halberds, more spears in the back. We have an Necropolis Knight with halberds, Citrus the Imperishable on his kitty cat, a Bone Giant, and Triple Shop to Great Bow, one of which is the Chosen of the Gods. Now side 4, Kislev, Ice Witch of Tempest with Biting Wind and Hawks of Mishka. Biting Wind, unfortunately, is just a bad spell. It doesn't do very much damage, unfortunately, as we saw there. So, first advice, don't take that spell ever. Other than that, Kislevite Warriors, Daz's Hearthblades, Watchmen of the Night, and more Zargard with great weapons. Yeah, I don't hate the build. We have the Oath Bros Tor again, Frozen Heart of Winter. Frozen Heart of Winter is a funny meme unit. It's unfortunately still pretty bad, but it's funny, so we appreciate that. Otherwise, I like the build. Don't love the Frozen Heart of Winter. As the Bone Giant and Triple Shopties are messing this fool up. Look at this poor guy. He's taking so much damage. Oath Bros Tor and the other Warbear Riders do need to be moving up. Now, as we noted, this game happened before I gave you any advice, so it is unfair of me to demand that you listen to the advice I gave you in a game that you played before you received said advice. But the Frozen Heart of Winter is already dead. Just a heads up there. Watchmen the Night getting to fight the King of Kesh Scorpion Legion. They should actually demolish these guys pretty well. Even for an ROR Spear, the Watchmen, Watchers in the Night should get through them pretty quick. Oath Bros Tor on the back line, and they will be rather uncontested. One Skeleton Spearman does not stop these bears, so the bears should actually be able to get a lot of work done. I think losing that very expensive... Wow, Daz's Hearthblades already got through the front line. Anyway, losing that very expensive bear is going to hurt you quite a lot and really hurt your chances of winning. But I think you have a good chance to, like, make a bit of a comeback. Again, Biting Wind, that spell just sucks. So, unfortunately, it's not going to help you much here. It just doesn't do enough damage for what it applies. And come the Oath Bros Tor. Again, they throw down their Blinded Lightning, making these Necropolis Knights 8 and 13 for melee stats. And the other bears are going to go fight a Bone Giant. So this is Kislev's chance to come back in the game. They're getting some good engagements now, and they need to shut down this ranged. As Cetra tries to clean up the back line, he can't peel everything all at once, and Kislev is getting through the front line pretty quickly. putting the Tomb Kings under pressure. Now the Oathbrothers are walking away from the Halberds. Now that the debuff has worn off, they don't want to fight them on top of spear support, and I don't think that is a bad choice at all. Why is your guys' leadership so low? Warbear Riders? Guys? Bros? There they go. They get their unbreakables to keep fighting for a little bit. They're getting shot by the Chosen of the Gods. They're now flanked by spears. They're going to have a bad time. The Oathbrothers of Tor run down these other Ushapti Great Bows. Good target selection from them. They've been doing fine. This Warbear Rider probably needed to back off when its friend did. I liked their target selection at first, but it did need to back off when the going got rough. So now they took a little bit of unnecessary damage. Kislev's winning the front line, as you mentioned before, so they have some advantages on the map. Like, I don't want to keep belaboring the point. I'm trying to say this as a positive. If you didn't have the Frozen Heart of Winter die at the start of the game, this is a very winnable game for you, but that unit just sucks so much that you're put at a disadvantage. But your play is fine. Your play is totally fine. Like, you're not losing this game because you picked a bad engagement with your Warbears. You're losing this game because you're down 2,000 fucking gold from the start. So, yeah. Anyway, I digress. Oathbrothers of Tor fighting to the very end against the Necrops Knights. They're going to be blinded again, so while Byre Blood keeps these guys in the fight, the debuff should actually secure the Necropolis Knight's fate. I think the Oathbrothers of Tor will win that from this point, but it's pretty close. Nice Biting Wind down the side, gets a little bit more damage onto the Tomb Guard and Skeleton Spearman, but still not enough to make that spell worth it at all. And in come the Kislev infantry to harass the Ushapti Great Bows. Unfortunately, though, at this point, with the Warbears so depleted that they can't really threaten the Ushapti and the Bone Giant, the rest of this game could be played out in just Cetra cycle charging your infantry and everything else running away and kiting you because they're faster than your infantry. So I think Kislev's fate is sealed at this point. Biting Wind seems balanced around hitting like 5 units. Yeah. It's not gonna, but yeah. Look at Cetra trying to save his Ushapti. One of my favorite things about the Ushapti animations is, because they're like undead constructs, is how slowly and casually they do everything. Like, they could be getting their asses handed to them and they don't show any fear. They're just like, I'm gonna still slowly swing my weird little machete at you. Because I don't have emotions, I'm not scared of anything. So as they're surrounded by elite Kislev infantry, they're getting torn apart. They're just like, swing. Swing. The Watchmen in the Night did alright. Daz's Earthblades did surprisingly well. They cleaved through that front line. They'll finish off the Necropolis Knights. Looks like the Chosen of the Gods are also going down. Hell, even if the Bone Giant dies, these Kislevite warriors, I still think Cetra could clean up the rest of this. We still have a Tomb Guard with Halberds for Cetra to help out. There's another one that's pretty low, and there's a pretty darn healthy regular Ushapti. It looks like it's sniping out the last of the Oathbrothers of Tor models. Oh. This is it. Are they going to spear this last one or let him go because he shattered? Yeah, they're going to let him go. Hawks of Mishka trying to discourage the Ushapti Great Bows. Not going to do too much damage to monsters type infantry. It will go into the Zargar, but don't worry, Hawks of Mishka is no friendly fire of any kind, but army losses has a hell of a friendly fire cost, and it'll take Kislev down. Nice game there from Heisenberg. Again, I've been kind of having a back and forth with the Kislev player in chat. I don't mean to just ignore one side or the other. Heisenberg played pretty darn great. His Necropolis Knights got out a lot more value than I would have suspected, so he played very well with them. His Ushapti did well. His front line caved pretty quickly, but he recovered it nicely with Cetra, so great plays from him. I honestly didn't even notice anything I would say, like, don't do that. I feel like he had pretty good stuff. At the end, I think he got a little lazy with one of his Ushapti. He just left it in melee with a bunch of guys, but I wonder if he was far enough ahead that he was just like, fuck it, I'm not even going to micro anymore. Because he was far enough ahead that he could win the game without them, so it is what it is. If he didn't mean to do that, then yeah, don't ever leave your Ushapti Great Bows in melee combat with a bunch of Kislevite dudes, but like I said, I think he was far enough ahead that he just got lazy. Frozen Heart of Winter, unfortunately, was a drain on the Kislev force. Other than that, Oathbrothers of Tor got good value. Decent-ish value from the other Warbear Rider. Zargar did okay. Kislevite Warriors did pretty well. Why does Charity of the Gods exists? Why don't they remove it? Because they want it to be good. They just refuse to make it good. Heisenberg, the game was pretty much over because you played great. You look at me, you played great! King of the Hoots versus Harris. We have seen both of these players, so does this look like something we want to cast? Yeah, it looks cool. Johnny Cash versus Cowboy Cam. I don't know if I've cast any Johnny Cash yet, so let's check it out. We might have cast Cash already, but just in case we haven't, let's hop in there. Cowboy Cam. I know we've seen Cowboy Cam. Is this the game he warned me about? Ah, it is. Okay. This is the game he warned me about. Cowboy Cam. In our tournament rules, just a heads up. There's two things we don't really like. White line camping, which is sitting so close to the white line that your opponent can't flank you. And forest camping, when you keep most of your army in the forest. I know your wood elves can get various forest bonus, but forests don't work like they do in real life. That's why we have that rule, is like you can fire a cannon into these super dead, horrible trees. You can fire a cannon at them and they'll stay standing. So they don't function like real forests. We don't like when people stand in them because tactics to deal with someone in a real forest don't work. As for the white line thing, this space is completely open. There is nothing to stop an army from flanking you here, but there's this arbitrary bullshit white line that stops someone from going around your archers. So we don't like people camping on the white line either because it makes things less realistic and less fun. So just a heads up, it's a new player tournament. We're very casual about the rules. I'm just telling you. Like, just telling you, for in the future, try not to sit too many of your forces in the forest, and try not to do this where, like, you're touching the white line, someone can't get around you, because it's just a fake white line. It sucks that it's there. So, just a heads up. But we'll move on. For the forces of Khorne, with Karanak in the distance, a Skull Cannon after their buffs, Scarbrand, Chaos Warriors of Khorne, and Marauders of Khorne, and then 2 Skull Crushers. On the other side, for the Wood Elves, we do have Durthu. What does he have? Flock of Doom and Sword of Death, nice kit. Eternal Guard, War Dancers, War Dancers, War Dancers, Blade Guard, Way Watchers, and Deepwood Scouts. We have the Firebark Elders and Eternal Guard. And in the far distance, Wild Hunters of Kurnos. Cast all the games. That would take a lot of time, and I don't know if I have that time. Skull Cannon, after its buffs, does leave a little vortex on the ground after it shoots. As it tries to set fire to the forest, but the Firebark Elders have an AoE fire resistance, so they're going to help out here. I first go through and make sure I cast a game of everybody, and then after that I pick ones that look fun to cast. So, we'll get to some of the 4th round ones. For now, I'm just making sure everybody gets a shot on stream. Look at the little fire vortex it leaves behind. Scarbrand's doing his best to dodge arrows while his Skull Cannon fires, and the Wood Elves are sitting in the trees, so he is moving up his forces slowly, but he doesn't really want to take a fight against Wood Elves in the woods. I'm going to play it at ×2 speed, as the Wood Elves are just kiting back into the trees. And they're kind of, you can see they're on the white line, so it's not like these archers, these infantry can get around the sides effectively. It's running a bit of troubles there. Durthu's lurking in the forest, daring Scarbrand to fight him in his own realm. Then he falls back. Scarbrand and Johnny Cash have been actually dodging very effectively, though. These archers have gotten very little value because Scarbrand's just juking everything as the rest of the Khorne forces try and get in here. That's why you used to see a lot of Pravanoth Rema caster, the Glade Lord female version. Because then Scarbrand can be doing this, and then you net him in place, and all of a sudden all the archers shoot him and his ass dies. But the melee is joined, as Khorne has finally waddled their way up to where the Wood Elves are hiding. And Scarbrand rampages in multiple units, then charges straight through them. Nice big collision attack on the Glade Guard. It goes straight down into the Way Watchers. That was a huge play from Scarbrand, but he's still having some issues. as all the archers are trying to shoot him, especially the ones with 360 shooting, as he charges back up through the Glade Guard. He has killed an entire Glade Guard unit in 2 charges. That is collision attacks, my friend. As Karanak and his Fleshhound Summon also coming back here to try and deal with these guys. Scarbrand is already down to half HP, and that is the second game today we've seen Scarbrand just get lit up by archers and taken down. This one's not even Scarling, though. It's Scarbrand. Wild Hunters of Khorne are also going to charge him, and that's probably the death of the Khorne Lord. Chaos Warriors and Marauders in the meantime trying to fight back against the Wood Elf front line, but the Firebark Elders will hold forever. It's literally their whole thing. And Tunnel Guard are doing okay as well. I think Khorne might eventually win the front line if left to it, but losing Scarbrand is going to demoralize them quite badly, and then their units are going to start routing earlier than you would expect. Scarbrand does barely recover his leadership for just a little bit. Durthu shoots him in the back with that, what the hell is that thing? Sword of something? Lamentation of Despair. Gotcha. Now, Karanak and his dogs are making the Wood Elves pay for being next to the white line, because now, as soon as they rout, they should go off the map, so at least the Khorne is getting a little bit of revenge for the positioning of the Wood Elves, but Scarbrand's already dead, which makes this very, very difficult. Oh yeah, Skull Crushers exist. Hi, Skull Crushers. Trying to fight these Wood Elves, who are in the trees, so they take a debuff from fighting in the trees. The Skull Crushers do, not the Wood Elves. The Wood Elves all are immune to that shit. Skull Crushers getting some decent damage out. The Skull Cannon is almost going to Demonic Instability crumble at over 2/3 HP, over 3/4 HP. Alright, demonic units. I see you being cowards. Skull Crushers trying to get a good fight as the Wild Hunters of Khorne are going to countercharge them under the watchful eye of Way Watchers. And that is a bad fight for the Skull Crushers. They are severely outclassed by the Wild Hunters of Khorne. And the Skull Crusher is dead. A second one's coming in, though, and with a free rear charge onto these Wild Hunters, they should actually do pretty well this time. That should be a good engagement for them, but they still will be getting shot by Way Watchers the whole time. It's not like it's free. Karanak's gonna go chase down these Way Watchers. And normally, you'd want Karanak to just hunt down the enemy caster and fight him all game long, but Durthu will kill Karanak super fast, so no bueno. Karanak, no silence Durthu, Karanak. Yeah, but, like, do you really want to be standing next to Durthu and Durthu whoops your ass? I know he could, like, follow Durthu around, and if he played perfectly, he could just keep Durthu in the ring but never touch Durthu, but, like, that is... Dude, I couldn't do that, and this is a new player tournament, so, like, that's a lot to ask of the guy. What, is everybody Alfredino now or something? That's too much micro. Skull Cannon chases off some Way Watchers. Other Way Watchers are still shooting at Karanak. And how do you miss at that close of range, Skull Cannon? Damn it, Skull Cannon. For Khorne, we've lost most of their infantry, though. That is problematic. So now somehow this Skull Crusher, Skull Cannon, and Karanak have to kill the Firebark Elders, all these random infantry, and Durthu. And once again, the Wood Elves are setting up at the woods and just sitting there. Again, we don't love that, but... it is what it is. We'll tell the person, hey, don't do that. And that'll be that. Lamentation Despairs from Durthu onto the Skull Crushers. Durthu is like, come fight me, dude. I'll be the only thing outside the forest, and I'll still kill you all. I'll kill everybody! Karanak briefly nets him in place. Gets a surround from the Skull Crushers, who pop the Horn of Khorne. Tons of melee attack for them, and they're trying to tear Durthu down. None of them actually have fire damage. Literally none of them do. So Durthu is not receiving any of his fire weakness debuffs or anything like that. Skull Cannon's busy killing off Way Watchers. The rest of the Wood Elf force just vibes in the trees. But now a rear charge in for the Wild Hunters of Khorne onto the Skull Crusher should probably seal the fate of this game. Still kill those guys off. Durthu is silenced. We can't cast his Flock of Doom. Can't cast the Sword of Dave. But as soon as Karanak leaves, now he should be unsilenced. So I would expect to see a Flock of Doom on the Skull Crushers. Or maybe the Chaos Warriors of Khorne? Maybe. Skull Cannon's gonna fire down the line. No way it misses now, right? Ah, it hit. Actually, the Roasty Toasty Fire is getting some of the elves. Roasty Toasty Fire. Karanak's back, baby, and he's hunting for tree. Yum, yum, yum. Ow, right in the face. And Wild Hunters and Kronos around him. Karenak's getting beat up pretty bad. Demonic Instability crumble at any point as all of Khorne's infantry are now retreating. Skull Cannon is out of ammo again, so it's got to come in and get some more. And the Skull Crushers are trying to figure out how to get around Rock, because Rock complicated. And then lose. I hate Skull Cannons. They miss more than Kolek, and that means something. Yes, it does. Skull Cannons still miss quite a lot. Is Amber Spear... Meow Meow... Is Amber Spear even good versus Lords and Heroes? I thought that spell sucked unless you got a side shot down a group of infantry or you hit a chariot. Karanak actually got 1800 values. Good for him. Scarbrand unfortunately kind of sucked and died. Skull Crushers didn't do very much. Skull Cannon did okay. Cowboy. Dorothy did great. War Dancers and Eternal Guard did fine. Way Watchers did well. His other archers struggled quite a lot. Wild Hunters Kronos had a good round. Okay, so I skipped that one because we had already cast those players. So we're still looking for anybody we haven't cast yet at all. Martinius, I think we cast him, and I think we've cast Captain Flapjack. Cast both these guys. Cast both these guys. Cast both these guys. That doesn't mean I won't cast your game at all. I'm just looking to make sure we got everybody at least once. Okay, so now we don't have to cast anything. Let's just find stuff we think is cool. So I thought that was kind of cool. We'll keep that. We can keep that. Wood Elves and Khorne. Awful lot of Wood Elves and Khorne today. I'm gonna skip that. So I go to bed at some point. Brett versus Elves is fine. Beastmen versus Dwarves. There's a lot of Dwarves, so let's choose carefully. Dwarves versus Empire. Could be interesting. Brett versus Dwarves. It's double Dragon Slayer and Grombrindle, so I suspect that might end up being Hero Hammer, and there's some Gyrocopters. So I'm going to skip this one. Yeah, I'm going to skip that one. Caster. I barely know her. It's Changeling. We got to cast it for Zero the Fool out there. Though he's probably gone to bed. We still have to cast it for him. We cast this just from the other perspective, so we already cast that one. I skipped that one, so I'm going to skip it again. That looks fun. That looks fine. I heard this one was fun, and the players wanted me to cast it, so I'll do that. The Kislev player really wanted us to cast this one. And we'll see if I still have the energy to cast. I might cast this one, but let's go back and get it going here, huh? King of the Hoots on Kislev. Not Freya. Versus Harris. 645. Bothers me personally, but I have no idea if it's actually good or bad for the game health. I don't know, Long Paul, if accuracy is a good way to balance unit. I actually don't know. Lots of Wood Elves today. Lots of Wood Elves in Kislev, which after Kislev nerfs, I don't hate watching them because I want to see how good they are. It seems like they're still pretty good, but I don't know if they're OP anymore, which is exciting. Because, like, I like Kislev in concept. I just haven't liked them for so long because they're so overpowered I don't like playing them, but... Alright, so we have Golden Knight Narska Lesia with Ursun's Claw, and then her Totem of Ursus for Silence. We have Zargard, Watchman in the Night, Frontline, Armored Kossars, Great Opens, Kislevite Warriors, 1 Streltsy, Zarina Katerin on her Frostworm with Heart of Winter and Icemane's Kiss. And then we have the Oathbros of Tor, who are already in a fight with Savage Orc Boarboy Biggins, throwing down their lightning to debuff those stats, and that will help them win that fight decisively. On the other side for the Greenskins, we have some Night Goblins, Spinning Loons, Goblins, the Swamp Things, Broken Tusk Mob, Orc Boys, Triple Goblin Archer, Da Biggin, and Azhag the Slaughter, who did recently get buffed to be cheaper. I still think he's too expensive for what he does, and I will die on that hill. Audie with the $5. Appreciate casting all these games. Cheers. Cheers, dude. Cheers. Both Brothers of Tor now surrounding Azhag. He dove in to save his Savage Orc Boarboy Biggins, but the Savage Orcs were already routing, so that just leaves Azhag all alone. Oh no, and the Golden Knight is coming. With Ursun's Claw, she can freeze him in place, keeping him stuck in these Oath Brothers of Tor. He's getting ripped apart, and now he's silenced. We can't even cast Death Magic. Savage Orc Boar Boy Biggins. They're leaving him! They're leaving poor Azhag to die, but he doesn't die. He gets back into the sky, and he's safe and sound. Man, he is lucky to be alive. Elsewhere, Orc boys are piling in while the Watchmen in the night pushed away a Goblin and are already getting those Goblin archers. Elsewhere, Zargard are stuck fighting River Trolls, but these are brave Zargard. I wouldn't count them out just yet. They are spooky, spooky folk. As Zarina Katerin might have gotten in over her skis, now it's her turn. Azhag was surrounded earlier, and now Zarina Katerin is just sitting in Orc Boar Boy Biggins as they stab her poor Frostworm from side to side. She is trying to path out. She's slowly pushing that giant Frostworm through all the Boar Boys to get back to safety. Uses a little Frost Fang for just a bit of damage. Poke these guys, get them off her case. Lancing Thackeray makes the unit feel like crap, no matter how big of a... Look how big of a meme it is every time you see a Skull Cannon. Yeah. Azhag dives in to support the Broken Tusk Mob. He's like, I'm going to dive in to support another Boar Boy Biggin, and this time it's going to work out for me. Azhag's Art Armor gives him some stats, but a big Heart of Winter overcast onto several infantry units is going to get some decent damage out. Now that spell has been nerfed over the years. It doesn't look that impressive, but it was a good cast. Even if it's not doing that much damage now. As, again, Azhag gets abandoned by Boar Boys! What the fuck is happening here? As the Streltsy turn to fire at poor Azhag, and Zarina was even winning the duel with him before, but she's now trying to slither away because she doesn't want to take this duel. She just wants him to get shot by her bros. She's getting hit in the back now by the Broken Tusk Mob, who have remembered that their lord exists and run back to defend him. The Oath Brothers of Tor in the distance are getting poked at by the Rogue Idol and also shot by archers and whatnot. They're getting pretty low, and the Streltsy push Azhag away, but with 1,000 HP, his leadership is fine, and he will get to safety. Zarina Katerin, however, is very damaged, and there's no healing for her as the Golden Knight the Golden Knight lady thinks about chasing Azhag, but he's in the sky and she's on a horsey, so that's not really gonna work out in her favor. The Greenskins are slowly getting through the Kislevite front line. We still do have a Debiggin in the background. No ammo left on him. Please don't use the thing that gives you more ammo because it's not worth it. Just go into melee. Please and thank you. Streltsy are still trying to get shots off, but archers are slowly poking them down, and now the River Trolls have noticed they exist, and they go charging in, knocking all those Streltsy around. Look at those spooky River Trolls. What happened to her being able to submarine through infantry like in the video? Infantry, yeah, not Orc Boar Boy Biggins. These are Orc Boar Boy Biggins. These are big boys Biggins. These ain't no infantry smallins. These is Orc Boy Biggins. Look at how biggins these Orc big boys is. You want her to slither through boys that biggins? No. She slithers through little shit boys like these armored Kossars. She'll go through them like nothing. Big boys Biggins is big. All right. There's my response to you. I articulated myself as well as I could as Azhag lands and just gets shot to pieces. I love how every time he's landed, it's just been a fucking disaster. He lands over here, the Savage Orcs abandon him. He lands over here, the regular Orc Boar Biggins abandon him. He lands over here, he gets shot in the face. Golden Knights trying to hold the Oath Brothers Tor together. They are about to rout the Broken Tusk Mob because the Greenskins, much like Skaven, suffer so badly when their lord dies. And Azhag is in fact dead. But there is a different problem, and it is that. It is this big thing coming in with a big old clap onto the Zargard. Boom! 600 HP off the top, reforms his arms, and he is back, baby. He's about to smash, 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 smash. Yeah! God, I love the Rogue Idol, and it is massacring the Zargard. There's nothing left on this Kislev roster that can challenge the might of the Rogue Idol. And unironically, it is going to win the Greenskins this game. I guarantee it. Kislev heroes don't feel very worth it? No. Almost all the Kislev heroes are garbage. Rogue Idol is chasing the Terror Out and Kislev warriors who did get the bug. It's not really a bug, but if they Terror Out before By Our Blood, they will then Terror Out for the entire duration of By Our Blood because they're unbreakable, which means their status can't change. So if they are Terror Outing, that is their status. They're stuck Terror Outing. Orc Boar begins fighting the Golden Knight. They'll get some decent damage out here and there, but they're too low. She should be able to beat them back. I'm happy that Kislev is losing. Alright. Alright, Fernie Rispy. Streltsy getting some shots off on the Rogue Idol, but let's look at this from their perspective, shall we? Huh. Well, that doesn't appear to be going too well, does it? He just put his head back on. That's not good. Yeah, I would leave too. I would leave too. Good call, boys. Good call. Night Goblins running up to support the Rogue Idol. Send their spinning loons out through the armored Kossars off to the side a little bit of a whoopsie there, but it's okay. Broken Testament, haven't you routed like 18 times? Just get out of here. We don't even need you. The Rogue Idol can deal with this. Golden Knight's gonna charge up. She didn't hear no bell. She's taking on the biggin. Dun, 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 Da, 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 da. He missed again somehow. Da, 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 da. Bungie game, Bungie game, Bungie game, Bungie game. Holy shit, he missed again. Can she do it? Da, da, da. Not really. He has 13,000 health. She has 3. Yes, he's missed 7 times in a row. But she has 440 weapon strength, and most of it isn't armor piercing. He missed again! He has 440 weapon strength. If it was 100% armor piercing, which it's not, he finally hit her. She would have to hit him 30 times? 400 times 30 is 12,000. Yes. She would have to hit him 30 times in a row if it was all armor piercing, which it is not. I can't make that more clear. Because the Rogue Idol is doing pathetically bad versus her. He has 73 melee attack. She has 55 melee defense. How are you missing this much? Like, you're delaying the inevitable. She can't win, bro. Just let him hit. I'm getting pissed off. I'm gonna look away. All right, 2,900 HP. I'm looking away. You can feel free to hit her now. Look at the health bar. He doesn't know we can see the health bar because the Rogue Idol's a fucking idiot. So look at the health bar. He's gonna start hitting her right now in 3, 2, 1. Boom. I said boom. There we go. Boom. What else is going on? Keep watching the health bar. Don't look at anything else. There's goblins all over the place. Goblin archers all over the place, shooting at stuff. Army losses is hitting, but we're not looking, so the Rogue Idol is going to hit her eventually. All right, big guy, I'm starting to get pissed. Please hit her. There we go. Good hit. Good hit. He hit her again. She just needs to do 14k damage without getting hit. Yeah, how hard is that? Army losses hit. She has By Our Blood popped, but as soon as it wears off, she will die. Demonetized for copyright Halo music, too accurate? Yeah. Yeah. He's trying his best. He did win the whole game for the Greenskins. I'm not mad at him for the whole game. I am mad he made me wait that long for the Golden Knight to die, but like, he carried the game. So, good job, Rogue Idol. That was actually a pretty good game. King of the Hoots. And Harris. Zarina did fine. Golden Knight did actually pretty okay. I thought she'd do worse, but the Rogue Idol decided to miss 800 times in a row. Both Prisoners did fine. Streltsy did well. For Harris, Azhag got constantly abandoned by his other units, so I don't blame Azhag. I blame those Orc Boar boys. Now, technically, Harris was controlling the Orc Boar boys and made all of the decisions that made them abandon Azhag, so I should blame Harris, but I'm not going to. Rogue Idol carried. I had Bellicor missing all of his attacks. Well, his attack was buffed, and enemy melee defense debuffed to 15. Nothing surprises me in this game anymore. It's true. It's true. It is 10 o'clock. There are a fuck ton of games left. we're gonna have to start getting picky. Do I have another Captain Flapjack replay? Because I don't want to cast just one of his games, but I kind of want to skip that Cathay one. Alright, I'm skipping this Cathay one. We gotta make cuts somewhere. King of the Hoots versus Sefault. More King of the Hoots. Okay, I guess I'm just biased. Sorry, guys. Just a biased guy. I only cast King of the Hoots. Another Durthu game. I'm honestly not casting this for the Wood Elves. We've seen a lot of Wood Elves tonight. I'm casting it because this is the only Chaos Dwarf game I've seen all night. My Chaos Dwarf one isn't great. I want to skip it. Alright, cool. We're skipping it. Skipping the fuck out of it. Chaos Dwarves win, baby! Easy game, easy life. Didn't stand a chance. Fuck you, Durthu. Piece of shit. On to Bretonnia High Elves. It's Imbric. Yeah, let's do it. We just watched a Heisenberg game, though, so we'll come back to it. I'm not skipping it forever. We'll come back to it. We'll do this. We'll come back to that one. Don't worry. Surprise on his Dwarves. I think he played Dwarves all 4 games today. Versus Johnny Cash. Empire. With triple gold chevron Empire Knight. Then a triple bronze chevron Empire Knight. I wonder why he triple gold chevroned that one. The other one got bronze. He didn't spread the training out. Alright, for the Dwarves, we have 2 cannons. A Slayer. Bugman's Rangers ×3. Slayers as well. The Skolder Guard, a Dragon Slayer, Thoric Ironbrow, Iron Breakers, Longbeards, and minus blasting charges. For the Empire, Boris Todbringer up in the sky, a Shadows Caster with Enfeebling Foe and Pit of Shades, frontline of Spearmen, 2 Empire Knights, triple Handgunner, double Great Cannon, and the Sunmaker, which at close range can actually be pretty accurate versus infantry. As Boris is going to dive the backline and try and distract the cannons, the Empire cannons are also trying to snipe those guys to keep the Sunmaker up and firing, which is now aiming at those expensive Iron Breakers. Boris has already almost routed the cannons. He got them off their mounts, but he just about routed them, wasn't quite able to. Knocks these guys off their mounts right away as well, but he can get that terror out very quickly. Pit of Shades hits the Skolder Guard. They have a super low model count, so they actually don't take that much damage, and the Sunmaker is having issues hitting these Iron Breakers. It is messing up the Bugman's Rangers behind the Iron Breakers, but it's aiming at the Iron Breakers. Now, Empire Knights are in the backfield. They should be able to take out the cannon crews, which do need to get back onto their cannons. They need orders to get back on, so these guys aren't actually firing back right now. And the blasting charges are taking out the first line of Empire defenses. There is no second line, actually. It's just handgunners, so if the Dwarves keep stalwartly marching forward, they can get onto the Empire backline very quickly. And Empire Knights said, backline? I know, backline. Charge the Skolder Guard, do 0 damage, but then also upset the Bugman's Rangers. So the Empire's doing everything it can to just stall the Dwarven advance. They're not actually getting that much damage out, unfortunately. Now the Empire Knights in the backfield are getting onto the cannons and actually getting good damage here and there. As handgunners fire back at these guys with the Bugman's Rangers counterfiring. And Bugman's Rangers will win that duel any day of the week. The Dwarves are through. The pathetic Imperial Spearmen already retreating. Where's your guns, faith, and steel now, you stupid fuck? And by that I mean please go stop the Dwarves. Hey, courage, lads. Stupid fuck. Handgunners are wide open as the miners get in here. Other miners are ready to move forward, but the Empire Knights desperately try to stop them. So does Boris. The Empire is up on the balance of power. At the state of the battlefield, I would rather be the Dwarves, personally. As Bugman's Rangers try to get in range, the Sunmaker is still trying to take care of those guys, but it has some pretty bad accuracy for some reason. Normally it's a sniper, but this game it is missing everything. As the Iron Breakers get in range, they have their blasting charges. No! No! Not like this! Not like this! Close your eyes! Oh god! The cannons are dead! They're burning! They're burning! Jesus Christ! That was fucked up! Holy shit! Alright, the Ironbreakers instantly delete that cannon. The Sunmaker is still trying to fire, trying to get anything done as Boris continues to harass the Bugman's Rangers, as do these Empire Knights. In the backfield, the triple gold chevron Empire Knights are routing off cannons but avoiding Slayers. Dwarves are all of a sudden ahead on the balance of power, like I said earlier. When the Empire was ahead and I said I'd rather be the Dwarves, everybody was doubting me, and then you all came around to my line of thinking, as the Empire can do nothing against the advance of the Dowie. Dwarven war crimes continuing. In comes a nice pit of shades onto the Bugman's Rangers. They start to dodge, but a little too late. They will get sucked back into that vortex. But I don't see it. There's still a healthy Slayer. There's a Dragon Slayer too. So if the hyper late game comes down to Boris versus the Dragon Slayer and the Slayer, Dragon Slayer and Slayer will win. Aside from that, you still have to clear out Ironbreakers, Miners, and Bugman's Rangers and all that stuff. The Empire's just running out of troops. So I used to be an adventurer like you until I took a blasting charge with the lead. Boris is trying to path away from the Dragon Slayer, who's got his axe out. Look at him! Look at him run! Look at his little carnival pants. Oh, where did you come from, the circus? Or were you a fucking juggler? You piece of shit. Oh, okay, he's screaming at me. I need to back up. I didn't like that he screamed at me. That made me feel uncomfortable. Boris is up in the sky, healing up slowly with the Midland Runefang. We do have handgunners retreating, getting some shots off here and there. It looks like they're shooting at Thoric. There's angry miners charge in. We're miners and we're angry. And the handgunners are running again. Boris's heal cap is in sight. We still have the triple gold chevron cavalry running around, dragging Iron Drakes to their death. The Slayer in me seeks Boris. Oh, the Slayer in me found Boris. Oh, they found the shit out of Boris. Boris is running for it. Undocumented patch notes. Sunmaker accuracy swapped with Hellfire rocket battery accuracy. Jeremiah, I think you and I are going to get along. I think there's a future for you in this channel. Grey Wizard got caught while I wasn't looking. Looks like the Dragon Slayer got him, pushed him off the map. Everybody is routing. It is down to just Boris and his hyper elite knights. He dives onto Thoric. This is his chance. This is his time. And Rune of Negation. 40% damage resistance. Thoric is going nowhere. And he honestly might beat Boris in melee at this point. Not that he needs to. He has long beards. And Circus McGee is back in it. Circus McGee with the rear charge. Ah, he's running away from me. And Boris is safe. Fuck you, Circus McGee. Skuldugard getting slowly killed by the Empire Knights. Slowly. And there are more Slayers, and Boris lands in the Slayers. His leadership debuffs mean nothing to the Slayers. Ooh, he's about to take a lot of damage. Yeah, he's completely surrounded, so he just took 300 damage. Yeah, about 300. Gets back into the sky. The Empire's trying to rally some troops, but it is over. It looks like they realize it and just surrender. GG's. Needs more great swords. At least the Sunmaker wasn't like that one bone giant. The one that, like, kept shooting Arkan? Or not that one. Am I thinking of a different one? Sunmaker actually managed to, like, pay for itself still, though. A little surprising. Alright, we said we'd come back to Bretonnia High Elves and we said not to worry. Maybe I'm a liar. Change her? I hardly know her. Harris versus Chosen of Alestre. That's the new bit. I'm gonna keep pretending I'm gonna cast that High Elf game and I'm never gonna do it. And the fucked up part is, you can't make me. There ain't nothing you can do about it. Nothing! Alright, we have our changeling again. Marauders of Tzeentch frontline, Severed Claw, double Exalted Pink Horse, Exalted Hero of Tzeentch with Colossal Strike and Assume Command. Then we have a Change Bringer with the Changeling. On the other side for Nurgle, we have double Plague Drones of Nurgle, Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Nurgle with Fleshy Abundance, Advanced Visitations, Chaos Knights, Marauders, Chaos Furies, and a Pestigore frontline. Cool. I'll be curious what the Changeling turns into, but that is neither here nor there right now as the Plague Drones dive down to the Marauders of Tzeentch. Should easily beat those guys. Plague Drones got some buffs, but even before the buffs, I've heard some Nurgle players say Plague Drones were wildly underrated. We get to see what the Changeling turns into. It's Scarbrand right in front of the Chaos Lord of Nurgle. Oh, fuck. That's a surprise. He was like, I'm gonna go beat up this little changeling, and then Scarbrand shows up, rampages his ass, and puts him in the dumpster. After Durthu beat the shit out of him in a different game, this Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle is having a bad time, as Scarbrand nearly one-shots him. Scarbrand terror-outs him. Scarbrand just keeps hitting him right in the face, and the Nurgle Lord is routing. He's running for it, as Plague Drones are compromising the Tzeentch backline. Scarbrand is back on the hunt. The terror-out wears off. The Chaos Lord of Nurgle turns to face his fate, and an axe hits him in the face. He's gonna naturally rout this time. He barely gets a fleshy abundance off as he's starting to rout. Can anybody chase him off the map? Because that would be huge. Scarbrand's going for it. 68 speed to the 75 of his opponent, but a charge attack is a hell of a drug. He needs to wound him. He needs to reduce that speed. Scarbrand, get back in it. Start another charge. Start another charge. He's running. 80 speed to the 75 of his opponent. 80 speed to the 75 of his opponent. He should be able to catch him, but he can't because speed is fake. I don't give a fuck about the rest of the battle. None of that matters. Changeling, changeling, changeling. All right, the rest of the battle real quick. Skirmish Cav are skirmishing. Nurgle's front line is getting through the Tzeentch front line pretty easily, and the Plague Drones and all that stuff is on the back line, so Tzeentch is in a lot of trouble, and most of their army is dead, besides the Changeling himself. The Change Bringers, wherever they are, they died, it looks like, quickly, probably to Chaos Furies of Nurgle, so that is a very expensive unit dead. But back to the Changeling, who is slowly catching up to the Sorcerer Lord. 5 speed difference is making all the difference, as the Changeling is not about to let him get away. He's hunting him down. He's going for it. He might even start a charge animation. He starts walking instead, the exact opposite of a charge animation. He is so close. He is almost there. He might possibly, potentially, do absolutely nothing before this guy gets off the map anyway. All right, that was cool. I still don't love the fact that we keep taking a Tzeentch army and then using a Changeling that doesn't have any spells, because then you get 0 Tzeentch army passive. But that was a cool use of the Changeling. I just think you need a hero that actually has spells if that's what you're going to do. So, the Severed Claw is busy protecting the Exalted Hero, who is trying to fight his way out. There are Plague Drones everywhere, but the Nurgle Lord is dead. So all these demonic units are a little easier to kill. And the throwing axes are about out of ammunition. So you are going to have to kill Scarling in melee, which is not a guarantee. And the Changeling may or may not have spells. The Changeling is going to battle now. He's a good lad. He's coming back. And actually, Tzeentch is coming back. The bounce power is getting steadily better. Scarbrand charges straight into those Marauders. And now the Changeling wants to go over, and he wants to save his friend, the Exalted Hero of Tzeentch and the Severed Claw. He knows they need his aid. He's coming over. Dun, 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 dun. Bam! Big rampage. I don't know what you're gonna do about it. It's not like you can punish this rampage, but cool, nice rampage, bro. Wrathful Reaper gives him a ton of damage. Everybody's getting close to routing, but some of these things won't route. Some of these things will just demonic. Instability crumble, so all of a sudden this is getting really scary for Nurgle. There goes one of the Furies, and they might start the chain reaction. Another Fury's thinking about crumbling. Pestigores are routing. Things are getting spooky. Oh, that's fecundity for all of Nurgle's forces. Never mind, it's not spooky anymore. Hey, yes it is. Chaos Fury is fading away. Severed Claw continue to fight next to their master, Tzeentch. And the Changeling is just staying Scarbrand. He has no interest in turning back into his Changeling self and allowing me to see if he has any spells or not. God forbid I see if he has any spells or not. Scarling is surrounded by various garbage. Look at him looking around at all this garbage. Ow. That looked like kind of painful. Severed Claw are getting close to routing. In fact, they go negative right as I say that. But the bounce power favors Tzeentch now, and I would agree. With the Exalted Hero being very healthy, Scarling being very healthy. That's a whole lot of Nurgle left, but these are... Oh, those are Chaos Knights, I guess, but most of these cavalry are Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes that don't have any ammo left. Might I remind you that Scarbrand is still going absolutely nuts. Why are you routing? I saw the Exalted Hero go negative for a little bit, and I didn't like that. Dude, you are fine. You're standing next to Scarling. You're chilling. I'll confirm. Changeling had 0 spells. No abilities at all other than transform. Oh, okay. Austin Harris. Very well then. There is no reason to turn back into the Changeling, though I would say you probably want spells as the faction that charges army ability off of that. Surprise, you keep yelling for a Sword of Khorne. Dude, wouldn't that be so good? Sword of Khorne right there. But this isn't Khorne. This is fake Khorne. This is blue Khorne. Like those blue corn tortilla chips that don't taste any different, but for some reason are off-putting. Alright, there's a lot of replays to get to tonight. I'm going to cast this as ×2 speed. Boom. Exalted Hero's back in the sky. He is dueling the Plague Drones. He should be able to kill them both. He is a halberd character after all. He does get rid of one. Scarbrand is on the ground, meanwhile, still trying to rout off all these guys. The other Plague Drone fades away. So all the demonic units of Nurgle are gone. Scarbrand, his Exalted Hero companion, are still trying to deal with all this stuff. We do have a bunch of Marauders, some Pestigors, but the Chaos Knights of Nurgle are the last elite unit left. They get rampaged into Scarbrand, who does pop all of his buffs, so now he has almost 1,000 weapon strength. He's currently cleaving through these fools, but he is starting to take a lot of damage. But however, you fell for his trap. He gets fueled by rage, so now he gets more weapon strength because he's below half HP. So, haha, maybe it was all part of his big brave plan. As Tzeentch pulls ahead on the bounce power, the Exalted Hero is chasing off some stuff. Meanwhile, Chaos Knights get rid of the Vast, the Severed Claw. Army losses hits, and the Scarling carries the entire game. With 3,300 value for him. 2,600 for the Severed Claw. Everything else got kind of wrecked. For the Chosen of Elistre, that was a wild thing where he charges the Changeling. Changeling turns into Scarbrand in his face, rampage him, one taps his ass, chases him off the map. That was kind of hilarious. GG's. GG's. Alright, now we're going back for the Bretonnia High Elves game after we cast every single other game. We cast a good amount of Sefault today. Did we cast a good amount of Rogue Consultant? I think I cast 2 Rogue Consultant games. I know 2 different players really want me to cast those games. We've cast a lot of Hairs today, and Martinius is a snag. So, I don't know if we need to cast Martinius' games ever. It does look pretty fun, though. It does look pretty fun, though. Okay, so we need to cast those 3. It's been established. I'm going to skip the double Skull Cannon Kite due to time. This looks fun. So we have 5 games left? Okay, but I'm not casting Bretonnia High Elves 1. Fine, I will. Hey, it's a Rogue Consultant game. Now I feel less bad about getting rid of that other one. Heisenberg versus Rogue Consultant. Bretonnia. And the High Elves. 5 games left, and it's 10:16 at night. That's fine. I guess I'll never go to bed. But it's official. We filtered through all the games we can. Everything else is a certified banger. For Bretonnia, we have Grail Knights, Hippogriff Knights, King Lewin, and then a Regrowth Caster, 2 Knights of the Realm, 2 Field Trebuchets, 1 is Blessed, and then a bunch of Peasants. Some are Mobs, some are Spear Boys. No side for High Elves, we have their buffed up Rangers, who still aren't that good, but they're a little less shit. Dragon Princes, one of which is the Fireborn. We have Imric, a Regrowth Caster, Silver Helms, and Eagle Bolt Thrower. Both sides brought shit infantry. Both sides brought elite cavalry and regrowth. Let's see who wins. Spoilers, it's me. I win. The Rangers will easily cleave through Peasants. It is not even a contest. But who wins between the Fireborn and the forest camping, dishonorable Grail Knights? All right. King Lewin gets Lord of Dragons, so Imric's going to chase him. and Knights of the Realm, Grail Knights, and Lewin. Everybody diving down onto these Dragon Princes. The poor, hapless Dragon Princes. What are the Dragon Princes without their Dragon Lord? Dragon King is what I meant, because... yeah. Princes and Kings go together, that one. Hippogriff Knights are busy fighting other Dragon Princes elsewhere, and the Hippogriff Knights will win that fight. And the Grail Knights kind of shit-canned those Dragon Princes. So, yeah, Bretonnia's winning right now. They're doing great. Imric hasn't been able to really affect much. Scan in the Sky. Ooh, that could be a nasty breath attack. If Imric happens to put a breath attack, like, right here, not that he can select it, he can put it on the unit and hope Imric picks the right thing. Imric, you shitter! Alright, well, never mind. Whatever, nothing matters anyway. The Fireborn are getting in a fight with Knights of the Realm, but Grail Knights are flanking them, and Lewin is here, so those guys are going to die. The Dragon Princes are getting torn apart by Hippogriff Knights. Bretonnia is OP. Bretonnia has always been OP. I've always said it, which is why they're banned in all my tournaments. Bretonnia sucks, and I hate this game. Double mix-up. Not casting High Elves, except he is. I always double mix-up. That's why you can't predict me. And Chosen... I thought it was really funny. We love you, buddy. You had some good replays today, dude. I haven't seen you on my stream too much, but we hope to see more of you. In future new player tournaments, or hell, even just sending in replays that I can cast for the channel. Stick around. Hope you had a good time. If you didn't have a good time, then damn, but... you know. Do whatever. Do whatever makes you happy. At this point, I don't mean to be checking out too early, but I really don't see hope here for the High Elves. Lewin is currently 1v1ing Imric while also sitting on top of Grail Knights and Hippogriff Knights, and he has plenty of healing left, so it's not like he's in any danger. The rest of the High Elf army is, like, literally all dead. So it's just Imric and his caster versus Hippogriff Knights, Grail Knights, and Lewin, and that's just not a winning recipe. Look at poor Imric. Well, speaking of poor Imric, actually, poor that lady just got flung like a ragdoll in front of his dragon, but yeah, otherwise poor Imric as a bunch of eagles keep pecking at him.
No, no, no.
That's the sound they make when they attack.
No. No, 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 no.
Elsewhere, we have the trebuchets being defended by peasants against rangers.
No, 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 no.
I think some Knights of that are going over here. They might cycle charge those rangers a little bit. As the eagles keep biting at Imric, there's occasional that keep happening. I'm not doing it. It's the game. It's just the sound effect when they attack. You're gonna have to get over it. On the ground, there's a Mage of Life just being completely ignored by literally everyone as the Grail Knights kind of hit her. I don't think they actually had attack on Mage. Yeah, they're ignoring her so hard they accidentally ran into her and realized she was there, and now they're hitting her now that they realize she's not invisible. Up in the skies, we have a couple more.
Yes!
And Imric is finally routing. Army losses should take hold soon, and the High Elves are doomed. Doomed. I miss when I wish when Human Boy was good. Now his content is all clickbait. Clickbait, softcore pornography, and annoying noises. Hey man, that's just the YouTube game. That's just the YouTube game. It's all people care about these days. Voice acting for the next Pokemon game. My game versus the Widows was much more fun, though. Heisenberg! I didn't know that. I'm sorry, dude. I'm trying to get some replays out. We cast your replay. We cast you with a good win over Rogue Consultant. Is that not enough for you? Can you not be satisfied until we cast every single game you have, sir? Alright, guys, focus up. Next game, we're gonna cast it all nice and dignified as is commanded. We need to find one that needs a dignified cast. Alright, let's do this. Okay, we'll do this. Chosen of Elistray versus Freya. And no more fun, everybody. Human Boy has to be serious, so we're getting serious. Okay, alright. Bring the microphone in. Let's lean in. Think of your best documentary voice. Freya, you took the fucking Frozen Heart of Winter. Nope, nope, nope. We are doing this right. Alright, and here you see many marauders of Khorne and bloodletters of Khorne, even an exalted bloodletter, very fine army from the forces of Khorne. One I don't have an opinion about, because opinions are legal now. Valkyrie the Bloody with their spear Sleipnir and demon shield, some minotaurs, yes, good anti-large armor piercing, well-constructed army with a bit of skull cannon for kite and a little bit of mobility. How charming! But nope, rein that emotion back in, because that's too much. We have some throwing axemen, horsemen, axemen, of course, which is good. Okay. For the Kislev force, we have the Frozen Heart of Winter, which I have no opinion about because I'm not allowed to. We have Kislevite warriors, armored corsairs, Bodeguys, brawlers, a bunch of Zargard in the back, Oathbreakers of Tor, and that's also fine. Everything's fine. We have Ice Witcher Tempest with Hawks of Mishkan Hailstorm. Yes, yes. That's all I have to say on the matter. Now, the forces of Khorne are engaging the Kislevite warriors, and they happen to be engaging in melee combat, and one of the sides will win, and I am not going to comment on that friendly fire from the Skull Cannon. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to say they're engaging, because I'm not allowed to have opinions. And the Minotaurs of Khorne are charging into the Kislevite warriors. Those are unbreakable halberds. Don't fight on top of unbreakable halberds, but I'm not allowed to have opinions, so I need to stay calm as Valky's charging in, and the Elemental Bear sucks. He sucks so fucking bad. I can't even keep it together anymore. He's surrounded by Minotaurs. He's just getting his ass kicked again. He's 2,400 gold in garbage. Fucking hate that guy. Skull Cannon's getting attacked by the Oath Bros of Tor, though that is a good use of the Oath Bros of Tor's time. The Kislev player did ask me to comment that he was using all of his tactics a little bit better. I can say that is the case, as Borislav's brawlers are killing off the bloodletters, the exalted bloodletters to be exact, so that is an excellent target for him to be shooting at. This lady needs to not be fighting Minotaurs, so that is a bit of a mistake as the Mohawks of Miska go through these guys, but overall, the Oath Bros of Tor are getting some decent engagements. Kislevite warriors are as well. I still hate the Frozen Heart of Winter. It is a bad unit. But these brawlers are doing great work. The brawler's doing fantastically, shooting downhill, destroying the Minotaurs of Khorne. Now the Ice Witch of Tempest is safe once again, chucking down a hailstorm in the middle of these guys. Huge spell cast. Hits 2 units on their way in. Very nice stuff. But a downhill charge from the Minotaurs will really hurt the Streltsy here. Meanwhile, the Zargard doing well in the front line overall. We still have all 3 Zargard are actually very healthy coming in this late game, which is pretty huge. As we've seen like a million times, it's not even worth talking about. But Valkia, if she gets stuck in a late game situation with a bunch of infantry surrounding her, she will die so fast. It happens all the time. It happened in her trailer, and it actually happens in Total War games all the time too. Now, the Oath Bros of Tor are keeping the Skull Cannons busy. They're keeping the Skull Cannons away from firing at the Zargard, which is pretty huge. The Skull Cannons are probably the most effective tool Khorne has in this build right now to kill the Zargard. I would normally say the Bloodletters, but the Bloodletters are just too depleted from Kislev's early engagements that they don't have, like, the strength left to actually kill the Zargard. So it is up to the Skull Cannons. So the Skull Cannons have to stay alive if Khorne is going to win this game. And already the Oath Bros of Tor are doing a great job of making sure they don't stay alive. Now, you might remember earlier I said you could also keep the Oath Bros of Tor to protect her from, like, the enemy lord. That doesn't work against Valkia. Valkia is infantry sized, so she's actually pretty good at slipping past these dudes. Skull Cannon is fading away. Oath Bros of Tor also managed to catch the Marauder Horsemen, relying on demonic instability to take the Skull Cannon out while the Kislevite warriors deal with the other one. Good job having halberd units fight those big boys. What up, Chaos Crumpin'? How you doing? Reverse ASMR. I'll catch up on chat in a second. The game's going fast, so I don't want to miss too much of it. Now, from the Khorne player, good Lord snipe onto the Ice Witch of Tempest. Valky's had some good target selection. She's getting pretty close to finishing that one off. Obviously, killing the enemy caster is nice, and even though Kislev has Buyer Blood, I mean, still sniping the enemy lord is literally, like, always worth it. The bears realize there is still a Skull Cannon left in the mines of Moria. Let them come. Let them see there's still one dwarf that draws breath in Moria. They brought themselves the Oath Brothers of Tor. It's a Lord of the Rings reference, you wouldn't get it. You're too young. Skull Cannon's going brrr through some Zargard, but it doesn't actually love staying in melee combat with these guys. The Zargard are pretty strong, armor piercing, really good stats, so they will drag the Skull Cannon down over time. Valky's trying to help them out, as the Ice Witch does appear to be dead. Yes, she appears to be dead. Lord recently died. That'll make popping Buyer Blood easier. That will make routing these guys easier, but as I said before, these Zargard are way too healthy. So the Skull Cannon's got to do some serious, cheesy kite shenanigans if it's going to be able to win this game, and I don't think it's going to be happening. Oh, that is a good shot, though. Look at that little vortex just burning up Zargard. It's 100% armor piercing, too. That little shot. How did you miss? You're sitting inside them. How did you miss? Okay, hold on. Hold on. If that Skull Cannon fires at the right here. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, but the Oppositor coming in. They'll finish this for sure. But damn, like, if that had gotten another Vortex shot on these Zargard, actually, it could have done something. Now Demonic Instability is going to start taking the Skull Cannon. There it goes. Valkyrie will be all alone. And I said about 4 minutes ago how this was going to end up if she was all alone. GG. You think you learned a lot from your first 3 rounds? Yeah, dude. You seem good. Like I said at the start of the stream, your micro, from even the first game you showed me, your micromanagement was really good. None of your units ever sat AFK. They always had orders. I just think you took bad engagements. And then this game you took good engagements and you killed it. So, like, great job. I still really hate the Frozen Heart of Winter. I think it's just, like, a bad unit. But, yeah, your micro is really good. So as your decision-making improves and as your builds improve, or if you're just taking the Frozen Heart of Winter because you enjoy it, do whatever makes you happy. I'm just giving you my opinion on like what'll help you get more wins. But if you don't give a fuck about that, then don't give a fuck about that. Do whatever you want. But yeah, I think your micro is great. As your decision-making and your builds improve, you're going to see a lot of wins. And like you saw, your decision-making in this 4th game was great. I didn't notice anything that I would have been like, don't do that. So. Very good stuff, dude. Very good stuff. For Chosen, had a great first tournament of me casting him. And if this is his 2nd or 3rd tournament, then I'm going to feel like an asshole because that name seems new to me. But also played pretty good. Pretty darn good. Didn't notice a lot of mistakes. Kislev's still pretty hard. They're not OP anymore, but they're still pretty tough. And the Skull Cannons, I will say, they stayed too far back. They kind of remind me of Lead Belchers, where you kind of have to get them, like, medium range to start firing. Lead Belchers at max range are going to miss everything, and Skull Cannons will, too. GG. Alright, catching up on chat for a second. Lord of the Rings best stream. Will the next tourney have global bans? Yeah. Yeah. I only took global bans off because the patch just dropped and we wanted to see the factions that got the changes. But we'll go back to global bans for sure. This is just something I do whenever there's a patch or whenever there's DLCs. You gotta let the stuff through. Because, like, as frustrating as it is to play against stuff you didn't want to play against, and that does suck, I as a streamer, I try and balance it between what chat wants to see. Because some people from chat want to see what happened in the patch, but they maybe don't have time to play, or maybe they don't play multiplayer, but they're still interested in, like, watching it. So, like, I gotta throw them a bone, but then we'll put global bans back in so the players have a better time. So, you know, there's a bit of give and take there. I'm never playing against dwarves in my life. Heisenberg, I feel you. I feel you, dude. I also really don't like playing against dwarves in their current state. Alright, 3 more games. Let's do it. Do a quest battle. Hey! What are quest battles? What battles for quests? Alright. Ooh, Gorby's cherries. This is like my new favorite things. I love Gorby's cherries. They're really fun. And they're pretty good. They're not like OP, but they're good. First, the Khorne build, we have Marauders of Khorne, Bloodbrute Behemoth, Valkyrie the Bloody, and triple Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes. On the other side for the greenskin, Orc Boar Boys, Orc Biggins, Orc Boys with Spears, more Orc Boys, Nasty Skulkers in the trees, Grom the Paunch, Orc Shaman with Brainburster, Fists of Gork, and Gaze of Mork, Triple Goblin Archers, and the Ragnarok Queen, Arwar Spider that has her little Spiderling summon, but she just waddled into enemy territory and is now 1v1ing the Bloodroot Behemoth, who will beat her in melee combat quite handedly. That's going to be a bad time. It looks like a Spear of Slopnir is even going to take out some of her support, getting the Orc Boys to rout quicker than she would like, and now she will be left all alone. Gorby's Chariot charges through the Goblin Archers with a bit of help from the Marauder dual weapons. Already those Goblins are routing. This is looking to be a very good start for the forces of Khorne. Let's see if the Greenskins can pull it back around. Grom is sailing through the back line, but hasn't found his home yet. And Nasty Skulkers are still way off in the trees. They will not get here before this battle is over, as the Ragnarok Queen is already 1/3 HP. Visually. The visual is always... Look at how far... Do you know how hard this is for me as a caster? Look at the actual value. 3,700 out of 10,000. That is about 1/3 on the nose. Look at the actual bar. That's like a fifth. The visual bar. That's like a fifth, maybe a fourth. That ain't 1/3. Look at that. Look at how not close those are. I'm going to put them even next to each other. Look at how not close those even are visually. Why is that bar always so much lower? I hate it. I hate it because it makes me look like a dumbass. Ragnarok Queen did get off one Spider Summon, but now she's routing, so she would probably just be chased off by the Khorne forces. Grom still hasn't found the fight yet. Has 0 value going into this. And Khorne is rolling through this front line. The Greenskins are already in mass disarray, routing in every direction as the Gorby's Chariots get a rear charge on these Orc Spear Boys. Do enough damage to rout them off, too. And that's a shellacking. Yes, Gorbies were always good enough. Tried them last night, now they're consistent too. 10 out of 10 with charge again. Alright, Grom pops all of his buffs to be a very bad fighter. And I mean bad in the best ways for him. He's a bad man. All his buffs were off though, and now he's back to being kind of meh. As we have a brief infantry grind though. Honestly, a lot of Greenskins have died. Do you guys think he has a Sword of Khorne charged up? 500 Greenskins have died. I'm gonna keep the screen here just in case something crazy happens. Alright, what else? The Ragnarok Queen was allowed to come back. Not a big fan of that. The Scorpius Chariots are rejoining this fight. This fight's getting a little worse. Greenskins are rallying on the other side, so Khorne needs to work a little bit more on chasing off the things that they routed, getting those nice kills to charge up their army passives, but also not allowing the enemy to get a second wind. Ragnarok Queen is taking some axes to the face. I'm just going to keep my screen here just in case something happens. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Please throw a Sword of Khorne there. We haven't had a Sword of Khorne all stream. We've had so much Scarbrand, but it's all fake bullshit Tzeentch Scarbrand. No, don't rout. No, where's my sword? No, you promised me. You promised me a Sword of Khorne, you bastards. For legal reasons, I have to tell you that I was not promised anything. It was an emotional promise, not a verbal promise. It's not like the player messaged me and said, hey, I used a Sword of Khorne, it was really cool. Alright, this is the next Sword of Khorne target. So now my camera's going to be here and never leave. Elsewhere, Spider Hatchling is fading away. He'll eventually go the way of the dodo. Greenskins are still rallying where they can. The Ragnarok Queen is dead. I can see her body in the distance, but I need to be where the Sword of Khorne is, and the Sword of Khorne is going to be right here. Valky is chasing Grom, getting some good damage out here and there. And the Bloodroot Behemoth is about to charge down the Orc Shaman, take him out very quickly. Man, this Sword of Khorne is taking an awfully long time to hit the Nasty Skulkers. Because it's gonna. Currently, Nasty Skulkers just getting kited out by Skirmish Cav. Some Borbo Biggins going after them as well. Valkia is chasing Grom still. While the Bloodroot Behemoth runs down the Orc Shaman. Nothing new there. Ooh, the Nasty Skulkers have stopped. Is something terrible gonna happen to them? It had better. Or the Khorne player and I are gonna have a disagreement. A nasty disagreement. That ends in swear words. Alright. Grom's still taking some damage. Bounce power's getting dangerously close to army losses. You have 1,000 kills! Oh, I did it! I manifested it into being! king! I summoned it from the great plains of Zar! That is mine! That is my sword of Khorne! It deleted the entire unit! It literally killed all of the nasty skulkers! They're all dead! And it's because of me! This was a replay! You all saw me save it! You know I haven't seen it before, but I knew it was coming! I knew it because Johnny Cash? Johnny Cash wouldn't betray me. He knows how pissed I'd get if he didn't use a fucking sword of Khorne on a giant blob of infantry. I take those. It could have been 2 nasty skulkers. It could have been an orc being an orc spear boy. But I'll take one. I'll take one nasty skulker that got fucking deleted. Look at that health bar. It is nothing. It is 0 because the mighty sword of Khorne, like the long dick of the red god, falls upon them and smites those heretics because it's the best power in the goddamn game! I was a little excited. All right. All right. I'm calm. I feel like I'm calm. I'm gonna grab something to drink. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think the Sword of Khorne was coming. Like, real talk, when it got down to 1 nasty skulker was the only target, I'm like, he's not gonna do it. He's just gonna cast Horde of Khorne. Alright, let's go. 2 games left. King of the Hoots versus Surprise. Surprise. All dwarves all day. This is the perfect stream to ASMR before a restful night's sleep. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm not calm. Alright, let's do it. For the Skaven, we have 2 rattling guns, avalanche mortars, and the Natty Booba sharpshooters. Then we have plague monks and death runners. Ikit Claw on his doom flare, which got a lot of buffs. And then we have double warp grinder for some nets and damage. For the dwarves, the front line of miners and blasting charges, Bugman's Rangers backing them up, Dwarf Warriors backing them up, and then Slayers. We have Bugman's Rangers in the woods and Longdrong's Slayer Pirates, plus triple Slayer, the double Dragon Slayer, and a Demon Slayer for their main hero, Lord Core. In go the Death Runners, out go the Dwarf Warriors. They're gonna die real fast to these Eshin rats who plow straight into them. And the Avalanche Mortars are still punishing the Bugman's Rangers and Miners wherever they can catch them. Now, Rattling Guns were definitely taken for, like, gyrocopters, so they're gonna be sorely disappointed there are no gyrocopters nearby. And these Plague Monks need to keep moving forward. Rattling Guns trying to fire at a single Dragon Slayer. Plague Monks getting out of the way so they don't obstruct the line of sight, because this teeny tiny dwarf is very teeny and very tiny. And Ikit is going to be very happy he brought Flensing Ruin against this Hero Hammer, so that'll be nice. Skaven getting out to a very early lead, killing lots of Dwarven units. It's pretty typical of Skaven versus Dwarves. Warp Grinders get caught out by the Slayer Pirates and the Slayers. This is generally why I avoid Warp Grinders, is because they're actually objectively great units. They are fantastic if your micro is perfect, but I never remember to cast them in time, and then they get caught and die just like that. So Jezzails and Rattling Guns and everybody is trying to stop the Demon Slayers and Dragon Slayers on their quest to find Skaven booty. Ikit Claw needs a Flensing Ruin soon just to keep harassing that Demon Slayer. As more Slayers are moving in, I hear the noise. There's a Warp Quake. Locking these guys in place is actually pretty huge. And the Rattling Guns are trying to shoot him, but they can't see him because he's too short, so they just walk up into point blank range. Another shot out. onto the Demon Slayers, getting shot in the face. Only 300 HP left for that Demon Slayer. And he's going down. Elsewhere, Long-Drawn Slayer Pirates and the other Slayers killing some of the Skaven weapons teams. The expensive elite Skaven lines. Natty Boob Sharpshooters just entirely ignoring what's going on behind them and focusing on the task at hand, which I can appreciate as the Avalanche Mortars get caught by the Dwarf Warriors. Ikit is here to roll through these fools, try and save his precious Avalanche Mortars. He's actually getting pretty close to doing it. How are we doing elsewhere? Plague Monks and Death Runners. Other Death Runners also still fighting Dwarf Warriors. Doing pretty good work over there. There was someone a while ago, and I forget who told me this, and I apologize for forgetting, but someone out there told me to zoom in more, and I hope I've been making them proud, because I've been trying, man. Not all the time, but if there's a little bit of a lull, I like to zoom in and just watch the units do some of their things. Long-Drawn Slayer Pirates firing at the Natty Boob Sharpshooters as they chase them off the battlefield. Skaven are still ahead on balance power, though it's getting a little scarier as they're starting to run out of oomph. Still a lot of Slayers left to kill, and Ikit's getting a nasty 2-for-1 Cleansing Ruin onto these Demon Slayers who are walking side by side. I do miss the takes tip to see, forgets how spicy something is, and soothes absolutely nothing shrieks. Everything's Skaven routed at some point. Problem is the spread out, my legs are too short. Surprise? Yeah. Dwarfs are short. So what is rallying? Getting some Rattling Guns back, getting some more Grinders back. Natty Boob Sharpshooters will be back soon. Rattling Guns are still firing at this Dragon Slayers. Man, these guys have been shooting at heroes all game, and they have 200 damage value. Did you miss the Sword of Khorne? Invited it special. I manifested it. It is my Sword of Khorne. It's not even Johnny Cash's Sword of Khorne anymore. It is mine. The Warp Block Giselles are back, and they are huge because, unlike the Rattling Guns, they can actually do really good damage to the Demon Slayers. Normally, you would want to fire at the wounded Demon Slayer and just kill him, but honestly, with Cleansing Ruin and the fact that these Dragon Slayers have been walking side by side exclusively, I would definitely shoot at the healthier ones. Your next Cleansing Ruin could just kill them both. Other Rattling Guns are back, and the Avalanche Mortars have returned to hurt the Slayers. There's still a full health Bugman's Ranger over there, which is a little concerning. And the Giselles continue to line up their shots and every so often poke those Dragon Slayers. There we go. Avalanche Mortars took half HP off those Bugmans in one volley. Avalanche Mortars are so strong. But at least they're, like, soft balanced. I definitely think they're strong, and if they took nerfs, I wouldn't be shocked. But, like, if you get on them in melee, they instantly die. They're very expensive. And they're no good versus single entities. I like units with clear weaknesses. Looking at you, Steam Tank and Landship. Best fucking thing in melee, also best at ranged, also fast as hell. Game-ending play incoming. Alright. Did the Rattling Gun have 2 kills? To be fair to the Rattling Guns, they've been shooting at mostly the Dragon Slayers and Demon Slayer all game. So. Long-Drawn Slayer Pirates push off the Rattling Guns again. Avalanche Mortars routing again. Rattling Guns wiping out some Slayers. Globes could use a nerf before them. Oh yeah, for sure. Globes still need a nerf. I feel like I'm the only person still advocating for globe nerfs, but I do think it's ridiculous if, like, you see globes get 1 volley onto cavalry, tell me they don't need a nerf. Come on now. It was the mortars? When they shot your Bugmans and just killed it. Yeah. There's the Cleansing Ruin to end them all. It's even Overcast to really set its sights on things. And that should finish off both of the Dragon Slayers, and with that, the Dwarfs will just army loss. And I know they have some unbreakable units, but there's no way they can win without the Dragon Slayers being alive. I mean, come on now. Dragon Slayers are dead. Skaven are kiting it out. Bam, bam, boom. Pow, pow. Distraction, kiting back and forth in front of the jails has been lovely. Yeah, this is the worst matchup in the game for the Dwarves. It always has been. It's just terrible. So the fact that it was even close, surprised should be pretty happy about that. But no, like this shit's unplayable. Avalanche Mortar's got 3,000 value. The Slayer Hero Corps just got run around the map all game. They didn't get to do anything. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on to our final game of the night. It is 11 o'clock where I am. I want to go to bed. I don't want to be up anymore. I'm an old man. People don't appreciate that about me. I am old. I am 78 years old. I go to bed at 7:30 p.m. Martinius on the Warriors of Chaos with Zarthoriel, who got reworked, versus Harris on the Greenskins. Do we cast all 4 of Harris's games? That's wild. We have Rot Knights that suck. Chaos Warriors with Great Opens that are fine. We have a Chosen with Great Opens that is fine. We have a regular Exalted Hero on a Chariot that sucks. Hellstriders of Slaanesh, Armored Chaos Trolls, Exalted Hero of Tzeentch on horseback with his Book of Secrets, and Meeting of the Minds. Interesting. And then reworked Sarthoriel. Canada's Golden Hounds, Rock of Inevitability, and Searing Doom with the Prismatic Plurality to reduce the cooldown of his Rock of Inevitability whenever he casts. For the Greenskins, Goblins with Spears and Orc Boys mixed throughout the front line, a bunch of Archers, Goblin Archers mostly, Crimson Killas, Debiggin, Rogue Idol ROR, and Grimgore with a River Troll Hag for a caster. In comes the Searing Doom from Zarthoriel onto the Goblin Archers, should do a good amount of damage, and then terror up them because Zarthoriel's scary. Broken Tusk mobs come out of the trees, they were hidden even from me. Zarthoriel's just going to go to safety, throws out his Gehenna's Golden Hounds on the Crimson Killers, but unfortunately the Crimson Killers were already mostly through it when they cast, and with the changes the Golden Hounds don't really move as much, so they're going to be mostly safe. Somehow the Exalted Hero is doing okay versus the Biggin. I feel like the Biggin would kick his ass. There we go. Getting some good shots in now. The Hellstriders get a flank on the Goblin Archers, quickly routing them off as the first Wah comes through. Orc Boy's almost routing because Zarthoriel is spooky. And also, I suppose they are fighting Chaos Warriors. Where are those Chosen? Here are the Chosen. Only half fighting the Orcs and they're still winning as they move over to deal with these Goblins. Grimgore pops all of his buffs, but is not able to find Zarthoriel. Rot Knights are beating up the Broken Tusk mob pretty badly, and Zarthoriel's going to come in and make it even worse. He's probably just going to tear out them on the charge. Rock of Inevitability, slowing them and reducing their melee defense to 9. And the Rot Knights should easily clean them up now due to that debuff. The Rock of Inevitability, pretty cool addition to the game, not going to lie. It's 5 a.m. here? Aximoon? What? Go to bed! What are you doing? Nice Searing Doom on the Crimson Kill is going to do a lot of damage while I keep checking chat. Thanks for the turning Human Boy. Was fun. Good. Glad you had fun. It was fun having you, Jeremy. Jeremy. Not old till you say you're old. Fair. As a really nasty Golden Hound goes through everybody. It's going through Chaos Warriors. It's going through Crimson Killers. That Golden Hound was indiscriminate in its violence and death. So the Rot Knights and Hellstriders are running through all the routing Greenskins and chasing them off. Meanwhile, Zarthoriel's getting rid of these guys. And I really like the reworked Zarthoriel now. I don't think he's OP. He's crazy expensive. And he's not even the best duelist in the game. But I do think his rework was very healthy. And it actually takes him from being like literally the worst lord in the entire game to being pretty viable. He's fine. In the distance, the Duel of Fates has been going on for quite a while, as the Biggin keeps dueling with this random Exalted Hero of Tzeentch, who I accidentally double-clicked. Rogue Idol's winning it, value-wise, and he is going to kill the Exalted Hero eventually. As the Exalted Hero throws out a Desperation Fate of Buna from the Book of Secrets onto some random Orc Boys. But yeah, good job, Rogue Idol. I mean, there's other things going on in the battle, and your team is losing, but at least you did your job. The River Troll Hag is pushed away. The Rot Knights are going to chase her down, so she's not coming back anytime soon. And this boy is setting up with a big pitch. Oh, he goes in. And it's a hit. That man throws for the Dodgers, who just won the World Series. Spoilers, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I spoiled the World Series for everybody. If you cared about it, you would have already watched it by now, though. Another rock goes soaring in. Barely doesn't hit the Chaos Warriors that Grimgor is surrounded by. His buffs are popped. His stats are jacked. The rest of his army is out of whack. Knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to dodge rocks. But the big one for Getty. So Thoriel jumps in again. As soon as he has that rock inevitability. Ooh, that was a lot of damage onto the Rot Knights from the Rogue Idols thingy where he like starts falling apart. Rubble and ruin. Anyway, rock inevitability down. He's down to 4 melee defense while surrounded by all these units. He's just going to take a ton of damage, and his damage should drag down the balance of power into causing army losses. Because he's too much of the balance of power that when he leaves, yeah, it's just too much. He's dead. Rip. Damn it, worst professor. There's spaghetti on his sweater already. Mom's Vimetti. Oh. 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 Rot Knight's got 2,500 value. Fighting against large targets. Every time I got an asset onto the enemy lord, he managed to fly away and delete a different unit. Yeah, Harris, it's true. I know Grimgor's a Chad, but that is a reason you always see that little Night Goblin, because he can just rampage stuff. We only had 20 people when I showed this, but Olaf the Moose discovered a funny bug that I think you guys deserve to know before we go to bed. That's all I have, man. We have 84 people watching. If I look at my YouTube analytics, it says only one of you is subscribed, and that's messed up. I want you to know. We have... No, actually, I'll save it for a second, but I have something important and sad to tell you. Alright, so you know how Oxyotl sucks? Check out this bug, nerd. You think he can fire once? He can fire... 1,000,000 times! Oh god! Oh, it hurts! Oh, I'm dying! That's a fun bug that we discovered. Well, we being Olaf, not me. Not me at all. Alright. Oh boy, okay, so... View your channel on YouTube. Yeah. Look, boys and girls. I have made 1,900 videos over the years. 1,900 videos. I have 11.8k subscribers. Okay. Go to Dav Plays. How many has he made? 2.7k is 23.7k subscribers. It's similar. It's a bad time. Let's check out Anticity. Anticity. 35,000 subscribers with 800 videos. Oh, okay. That seems fair. Let's check out Turin. Everybody loves Turin. How many videos has he made? 3.9k, but he has 183,000 subscribers. These are crimes. These are crimes. Why? Where are these 183,000 subscribers that aren't subscribed to me? Why don't I have all of his subscribers? That's messed up. That's messed up, and that's fucked up. Frankly, that's illegal. So listen, if you are one of the people, it's 78 people, because it's ticking down, because I'm boring and stupid, which I know. But if you aren't subscribed, you gotta do that. Okay? Now, what do we have coming up? I made 5 videos that we're uploading during this stream. All of them are versus Alfredino. One of them I take Nikai, and I beat his ass. One of them I out-kite Alfredino. In the other ones, he wins, but we're not going to talk about those. Best Skaven player in the world versus best player in the world, that's me on Skaven versus Alfredino. I won't spoil it for you who wins that one, but I do, because I'm the best Skaven player in the world. You could have all this content if you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, then you don't fucking know about it. You're not going to get the notifications. You're not going to know. You're not going to get shit. You're just going to go, well, that was a funny little streamer guy that streamed one time. This is the only time he's ever streamed. He doesn't have 1,900 fucking videos out there since the dawn of time. He's never streamed before in his entire life. He has 665 live streams, and you haven't seen any of them because you're not fucking subscribed. So you should do that. And give me money. Donate all the money you have. You're saving up for a house. You're saving up for kids. Spoilers, nerd. Houses are a lot of work. You have to rake leaves like I did this afternoon. You have to shovel snow. You have to repair shit. Fuck that. Live at your parents' house forever. They pay for your food, room and board, and all that stuff. Just give your money to me. You're saving up for a house? Fuck that. Just give me the money. Oh, you want kids? You want kids to poop their little pants? Poop their diapers so you have to clean them? Guess what? No more video games for you because you got to raise kids now. Oh, your kids want to go to school? That's more money, more time. You have to help them with their homework. Do you remember doing homework? Homework sucked. You want to do it again? But now you're doing someone else's homework while they play Super Mario Brothers 64 and ignore you? Yeah, fuck that. You were saving money for... Give me that money. Saving money for a car? Who needs cars? They're ruining the environment. Give me that money. What? Come on. Just like think about it for 1 second. Realize this is a better option. So give me your money. Subscribe to the channel. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. So what's the trigger for that bug? If you cancel the golden blowpipe, sometimes they'll do it. I'm just checking up on chat. Hummus, I give you money. You can't tell me to sub. True. Cast 1 win, Classic Game Boy. Hey, Worst Professor, I cast all 5 games we played. Sakura, good to see you. Worst Professor, don't tell my mom about this. It's on her card. Hey, let's go. Stealing money. You were sliding into cult area? Oh, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Hey, you guys have a great night. I will see you. We might stream tomorrow. No guarantees. I gotta make some videos, but I might stream tomorrow. Later, taters.